you might have missed the cut-off. Maybe it's me. I was really tempted to go like some kind of like cupcake or something and put like a 3-year candle in it, and then I realised I just couldn't be arsed doing any of that because it's been 3 years.
I can't be arsed doing things most of the time.
Yeah. Doing things for people to do things and fuck it. I mean,
yeah, that's why I'm still in the campaign. Can't be arsed beating at this stage.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, what else would we do now? Because we're so used to this, right? What else is there?
The social inertia dictates I'm here.
Once you build up enough slingshot maneuver to get out, you'll be gone.
Right.
What's up?
I was getting like advertisement bombed at my ear lobes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's various
What about the rest of you?
really fucking annoying.
They
Or
were
maybe,
fine.
you know what, since Audible is owned by the parent company, no, they're great. I love your stupid advert.
Did you get the Audible advert as well? I got the Audible advert. Cavemen.
I really this is something that I've noticed. Even though I really, really heavily like lampshade my sarcasm, like I am not subtle with it at all. Sometimes people just don't pick up on it anyway, and it's just kind of upsetting. Like, what's wrong with me that you think I'm being not being sarcastic when I say something like this? You know, like, oh, really? And then other times people will be, oh, don't be so sarcastic, and I'm just like,
maybe,
I'm entirely
Colin,
sincere.
maybe it's just hope.
Wow.
You considered that? Maybe they're just hoping you're not sarcastic this one time.
What is hope?
Exactly. Maybe don't hurt. Yeah, is the audio working? Did anybody check?
It sounded alright.
Perfect.
Sounds good to me, brother.
Good.
Brother.
Yeah,
brother.
So, welcome to Starfinder, the Fragments of Eternity, Session 104, Attempt 2. It is the 3-year anniversary.
First one.
Happy that to us.
Yay!
Yay! I was saying there, welcome to Starfinder. I realised, wow, how many fucking times have I actually said that now? That's a lot of times I've said that. Yeah, like
104. Probably actually 208 to be precise.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
not all of them were 2 parts.
Yeah, like so fucking many times to be perfectly honest. Like, and never mind all like the spin-off stuff where we attempt in good faith to have a session that doesn't have. So yeah, maybe I should change it now. It's been 3 years. Just like a new intro.
Nah, man, you can't do that. Like, there's nothing worse. Do you remember watching cartoons back in the day and then they changed the fucking intro that you liked? I hated that
just
shit,
marathoned a whole bunch of anime there. I'm well versed in changing intros.
Yeah, man, I fucking hated that shit. Anime doesn't really bother me because I expect it for anime, but
Right,
like, you know,
yes.
back in
Anime
the day
always
when you've
makes it
listened to
part
like...
of it that you look forward to, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I wonder what the new Bleach theme tune will be. And it's never as good as Ichiro no Hana, but it's still interesting and exciting.
It's because anime is bad.
You know what? I've watched some anime recently that I enjoyed, and
You're
those
lying.
are my thoughts. No, it's true.
So yeah,
agree.
I'm Ryan, the GM. I think I said that. If I didn't,
Yeah,
I suppose I am. It's the 4th of October, 2021. Happy anniversary to us. Happy belated birthday to wonderful Emlyn Daly, aka Oko, and happy belated birthday to Zora the Abyss de Aura, aka Nico. Please go.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at that. Since we're at least within a week of remembering all this, here are the players.
Hello. I am Nico, and I'm playing Zora, the Vesk captain guy. Admiral. Sometimes.
It's done.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Cool. I'm Alex. I'll be playing Weird, the android mechanic / SAS machine.
I'm not. I am instead Colin, who will be playing Lyco Quint, the sneaky, spooky space cop.
Yeah. It's weird you going last, so I'm so used to you being first, so my brain's like, where did everybody else not go? It's very strange. Also, welcome Siren Nishandra in the chat.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So,
Greetings.
agreed. I should probably say good hello, I suppose. That's also
Big hello.
good hello. What do you remember from last time?
Fuck man, last time. Right, we spoke about this last time actually.
Well, that was clear.
So there was a lot of talking and a lot of bottomising query to find out exactly what he wants whenever, but we might still do it.
I mean, we don't have our resident lobotomy specialist, so
Excuse me. Lobotomy's easy. Anyone get a lobotomy.
we also have, like
Uh,
we have options.
we're gonna just drop him off at Castrovel just to rid our, well, not rid our hands of him, he wants to rid his hands of us, essentially.
Fair.
It's not really, but okay.
I mean, I don't know. If I was with a bunch of people that got my leg broken and then were like, can we mildly lobotomise you? I don't know if
I
that
gave him
is
the
fully
choice.
true.
Okay, I could have fucking pinned him down to a chair and forced him into it, and I didn't. I gave him a
You
choice.
might now do it.
Sorry, but the Vesk
Since he made the
handbook
wrong
on
choice.
choice. Yeah. Oh dear. Vesk. Yep. Not even once.
If I was acting like a Vesk, he would be pinned to that fucking chair, and he'd be getting his brain sucked.
Fair. Okay. Yep.
He'd probably have 2 broken fucking legs while he was at it.
I didn't realise
Yeah,
you
but
felt
then
so
he's-
passionately.
You still have 2 legs afterwards, though, so it's fine.
He doesn't know how lucky he is.
I mean, I don't think he does. Not given your parameters for luck. Yeah. No, he definitely is unawares of this, possibly happily. Okay. Oh, oh my god. So
That was a
yeah.
very New York deal there. It was like a, oh dear. Dire.
Oh dear.
God dire.
So we're starting strong. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah. What else?
It was MO talks,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure. Was that last session?
That continued and ended the last session, and then she went away. I mean, she went elsewhere. I don't know where she went. She could have gone to her office. She could have gone home, whatever. But she did leave, and then I did the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, Dad? Or is that kind of the highlights? Because mostly it was Yo Query, Yo Emma, and then that was like kind of it, really. I feel like you had already wrapped up like the Matva stuff. I feel by that point and stuff. So
There was like a lot of just inside voice speaking about whether that we should or shouldn't lobotomise query. That was about
There
it.
was a lot of brain speak. That I
Sure.
agree.
Fair.
With your estimate of that is correct. Well, right. So, wasn't a huge amount at my end. I think those guys spent a lot of time sort of mentally deliberating what to do with them.
Yeah, because there was a big
and
chat
we
with the
sort of
crew,
resolved-
with like Alice and stuff as well.
Oh yeah, Alice is gone. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Alice is gone. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the-
That's what I was trying to think of. I knew something significant happened to someone other than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Alice left at the end of the session. It seems. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, she didn't seem to like the direction the crew were taking their query decisions.
But we never took the decisions. She left for no reason.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, let's look at goals. I think that is pretty much it. Not that we'll remember something later. Or not. Though I was really confident in that. Right. Zora, your goal.
I have a personal hand to the death of Demigosh.
Yeah, Lyco.
To table Edgar's assassin.
Assassin. Hashashi.
Shashi.
Assassination plot for now.
Super top.
Weird.
Sell legs out the back of a van.
Zig. Anybody want to do Zigs? Can I do a Zig impression? Okay, so that's it.
I'm
Perfect.
not even going to. I'm not even going to attempt it.
Just a Minecraft villager noise, I think that is. So Callum, if you're watching, yep, this is what you are now. Apparently, like this is what 3 years of your company has done. We have perfected your accent. Can you do his goal in that kind of accent though?
Family reunion. I don't know why Carl's a Minecraft villager. I really don't.
Is this disrespectful?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I apologise.
So general
Let me
goals,
get the notes app
folks.
I'm kidding, I installed it.
Right, general goals. Use CC to gain dragon info related to new station. Enlist Cindy's help in bringing Bone Sages into anti-Urgalask plan. I couldn't. That was actually really hard to read for some reason. Like there's just a lot of bees.
I know. I've tried. Upsetting.
But the thing so enlist Sindile's help in bringing Bone Sages into the anti-Argalist plan. Although I did add the in there. So, interesting.
Anti-Urgalist doesn't really flow off the top.
Yeah,
Enlist
anti-Urgalist.
Sindile's help doesn't. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, it's
When do we meet his niece and nephew then?
Yeah.
Just a lot of like letters that don't mix. Beat Urgalask Triaxis. Gain queries knowledge. Re-other universe before handling over. Don't know why re-other. It's like an anime. That's an anime title right there. Re-other.
Or an email.
Yeah.
Create multiple destination. I keep on saying dimensional.
Everybody says
Destinational question mark. No space chambers for the crew.
That's just straight up like a reading problem. That ain't like it's position or anything. I guess. Maybe it's a context thing, right? Because obviously multi-dimensional is like a sci-fi like contextual
Nah, it's totally
staple.
a context thing. It's a totally context thing for me.
Yeah, it's 100% not sci-fi. Yep.
The original.
It's very very what you call it?
Oh, science fiction.
Like
science fiction.
Can we all say happy anniversary in that voice together, please? I don't know if that's even humanly possible.
Happy anniversary.
I'm not even going to try, but happy anniversary. That was so good.
You can't make us do it and then know you do it.
I didn't make you do it. It was Siren and Chandra in the chat. So
yeah,
absolutely. I'm just the chat out. They're wonderful.
You're the host, man. You're supposed to keep the chat happy.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's supposed to. Also, dear gods, that is horrendous, Colin. Horrendous. Stay focused, buddy. Stay focused. Stick with us.
I'm contributing to the conversation.
I don't know if.
Contributing in a negative way is still contributing.
Right, so anyway, we've done our goals. Now in the game. Michael, what's happening? Where are you? Where do we
I
we
was
fade
left, obviously. Mr. White Blossom, Palatial Estates.
Also, thank you for the bits.
Tips.
Thank you.
Hey.
And having left, I would probably immediately buzz CC on my comm.
Yeah, like a phone call or text or what? What are you doing?
Phone call.
Yeah. Yeah, like the line opens. And you just hear like angry chirping at the other side.
Hey, are you still at the shuttle by any chance?
Just more angry chirping and the usual CC stuff. And then incoming text pops up and it just says trying to lose tail. Will contact when safe.
Okay. I just accept that answer.
Yeah.
Lyco. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mentally, I express to the group.
Mhm.
I think CC may have some trouble here. Not sure what the situation is, but he says he'll contact me when it's safe.
Which is unsurprising.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's just his thoughts on the matter. Basically, just yeah.
I couldn't tell if that was Lyco's thoughts or you were using a Callum impression to make him include.
Ah.
Both, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I will sort of head about my business of trying to locate Edgar, I guess.
Okay.
And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and hit up some, probably do the classic start with slightly upmarket haunts.
Yeah. For this, remember, I'm pretty sure you'll have his contact details. Keep in mind. So,
Sure, but he ain't going to be stupid enough to answer the phone.
yeah, sure. When you say upmarket haunts, are we talking what kind of establishments?
Well, Edgar likes his spin.
Mhm.
So bars, especially well stocked ones.
Yeah. Right. So, because you kind of did a bit of a circuit with upmarket and low market bars already, so you've probably got quite a good grasp on that.
Oh yeah.
Remember, like you went through like
Yeah.
your expensive bars and your cheap bars to try and gain some intel. So, you've kind of already got a leg up on that.
Meeting with this.
Yeah. So, I think the best thing to do would be maybe roll your space cop and try and work out where you think, you'd be likely to go, or you could do sense motive, like for the same kind of vibe.
Well, let's see. Now, Space Cop, I think. Is it Space Cop or Sense Motive that I figured I was actually like one under what I should be, and I couldn't figure out why.
Why don't you just add one to whatever when you roll, and then that way
Well, you
that's
know what?
resolved
Let's
itself.
not, because I can't. I might just have miscalculated. I think Space Cops were relevant, even though it's
Yeah, no, I
not
think
as
so.
quite
Yeah,
as good,
like.
but I'm definitely going to roll that because it just feels like the appropriate thing to roll. It's a 35. Not great for me.
Yeah. So yeah, you sit and have a think. Most of like the upmarket places, here are probably owned by people like White Blossom, right? If not like directly him, like the other dragons, right?
Okay.
Given that they have like a fairly good relationship with Aspis Consortium, especially since like it did not take long at all to get her physically in his house.
Yeah. So
Like,
the likelihood would be that even now they'd probably be, even prior to knowing, let's put it that way, that he was specifically someone to look out for, they'd probably pass that information along anyway quite quickly.
Yeah.
So probably if he's gone to one of them, the chances are that he'd already been found by them, and therefore he's likely not at an obvious sort of location. Okay.
And unless his plan is to get caught, which is a very quick way
Unless
of
his plan
probably
is to
getting
get caught,
right.
which, yeah.
So that's what you're hit with. You can ask me some questions if you want, because it's not a bad roll based on as long as it's contextually relevant. I don't mind if you loop in the other gang to come up with a question or two either. So.
Does anyone have any suggestions there? I'm not really thinking.
I just think it's a better way to do these types of roles, right? So you're looking for info, and it's like, what do I think to give you versus what do you want to know? So I always like to try and loop you in if I can.
Because I would like to know, essentially, what kind of place would he be lying low, if not, in sort of like lounging around bars. That was my first thought, just because it's a very Edgar environment. But obviously, if he's keeping a low profile, and I think it's likely that information would very quickly pass on to the dragons and from there to Aspis, then I'm not going to think that now. But is Lyco likely to go, but I happen to know that some of the more down market premises are only very loosely affiliated with the dragons, or like aren't at all and just pay their taxes and have nothing to do with them.
Yeah, they're also like for just a bit of like supplementary info. Like some of the cheaper bars will have like one bottle of spin, but it's usually unopened because nobody can afford it. But it's one of those like look at us, we've got it. If people are
And
like,
he does seem willing to drink things other than spin.
yeah, but it's that kind of way that obviously because this is quite a major like spaceport area that you were in. I am initially assuming you went back to like the similar area. The like people doing like rich young people seeing the system with maybe their first spaceship or whatever that they get, coming to like slum it in the working men's bar. Yeah, they're the type of people that would go to them and go, oh yeah, what do you want to order? Okay, give me the most expensive drink you've got in the cheapest bar. And then it's, they go, well, we've got a bottle of spin. And because obviously they have no concept of money, they just pay. So that's probably why some of the cheaper places would have still stocked that, despite it being ridiculously expensive per glass. Yeah.
Okay. So perhaps something that he does think possible Edgar might choose to do.
Yeah, like if he's definitely going for like his preferred drink of choice, which is spin, then yeah, it makes sense to like do that. Like pick a bar that isn't so.
My other thought is if he's lying low, he's liable to find somewhere you can sort of blend in, which would have led me to upmarket, because he's not just going to like book a hotel room under a false name and just stay indoors until he gets eyes on or whatever. So I'm not sure what kind of places he would choose to spend his time while he's waiting for the opportunity or planning to create it.
So like, remember when he was on Akaton? At least you know that he picked like some back alley kind of like stacked cube housing, right? It was like dirt cheap and probably anonymous.
Yeah.
So he's willing to slum it depending on how long he was there for.
Yeah.
And like, it was easily like at least a month lived in when you like had a look around it when you were in that kind of cubicle. So
the reason that that's not coming to me, and presumably or for also to Lyco, is that felt like he was just slumming it because he just needed to be somewhere that Aspis wasn't directly looking. Like,
yeah, it wasn't very
necessarily. I think at this point he needs something a bit more because he's in their backyard. And anonymity only goes so far. So I don't know. I am kind of. I might just try some of the sort of somewhat down market bars, see if anyone's seen anything, heard anything, and if not, then I'll sort of maybe pursue affordable accommodation.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I guess a lot of this is mostly just legwork then, really, isn't it? So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it's probably Space Cop, and we'll just use that as a gauge of like.
Yeah, want another roll?
Yeah, please do.
It's exactly the same, right?
Yep, which makes sense because you're still using the previous information to try and put in your legwork. Yep. So we'll have you start to explore that place. That's fine. While that's going on,
just go for me as well.
What's that? Sorry.
We lost
You're
you
breaking
there.
up. Yeah, you're fine, but you were breaking up. Yeah.
How dare you break up with me, Nico?
It's over, right?
Oh, thank God! Thank God! Thank God it's over because I was really worried it was going to keep breaking up. So.
Welcome back.
It's a really funny joke that was mostly really funny to me. Just said I'm glad the breakup was over. So anyway, what did you last hear? And I'll repeat it. Perfect.
So you were saying about being the same information, and then
so same information. You start and search that area. While that's happening, what does everybody else do? In the meantime, because that's going to take a while for Lyco to.
I mean, I guess we're in the middle of fucking. Oh wait, did we just conclude that actually? Quick, I can't remember. Like, if we were just going to
use haven't.
On Baskerville.
you haven't done anything other than you agreed that you'll put him on Castroville. Beyond that, you've not said anything more because remember we moved the scene to the bridge when we had Alice's like departure.
Okay, so I will basically probably go to the bridge to ask Alice because I don't know Alice has gone yet.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll move us, I guess, back to our generic screen since I did move us to. In fact, I'll just leave Traxxas up for a bit. Screw it. We'll just have to use our imaginations, damn it. So, yeah. Or maybe that noodle place, because that was a really pretty image. Remember the noodle place? And that was cool.
A couple of noodle places, I think.
I was about to say Onakaton, I realised I think most were Onakaton.
Yep.
Yep, because that says a bird. Oh dear, is this the one? Let me have a quick nosy at it, I think. Oh, this is the one. Oh, this is a better one actually. Right, so let's just throw up this pretty image that's... It could easily just say Triaxis for like probably the places that Thingy's looking in, but that clearly says Akaton. But
yeah.
We'll leave that up for a bit.
Oh yeah, isn't this where we met Sparks?
No, this isn't where you met Sparks, but it was the same probably session. This is where you met Q-Bob.
Oh yeah, yes it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so in the scene that we're in, so you head to the bridge. It's a shame we don't have anything of the ship. Let's pop that up as well if we can. Where are we here? Where's the final lever?
A shape.
A shape. It's a really weird shape, I guess. Where's the final lever's sheet? Why is it not? We definitely have one.
Final countdown. We do.
I just cannot see it.
I'm pretty sure.
Can't see it with my eyeballs.
I don't know. It's probably not the same fucking order for you than it is for me.
There we go. I was just so I could actually pop that up. There we go. There we go. I'll move that so people can, guess if they wish to read it, it's at least there. Just so I can have something like relevant on the screen. So on the ship, you head to the bridge. You get there, doors whoosh open or whatever Vesk doors do. Scream open, growl open. I don't know, probably growl open. You walk in, and there in the captain's circle, as it were, the standing point, you see Ivan.
Ivan, give him a nod.
Kind of like just turns slightly and just like wobbles a little. Turns back.
Seen Alice?
It kind of like slowly moves towards one of the consoles. And then just like turns on the spot.
That's not for eating.
It like moves back a bit.
I'll probably. Yeah, I probably said fucking no fucking that's rude.
Yep.
I never said that second time either. Hold your ears, children. Yeah, well, I said Alice text like can you come to the bridge, Alice?
Yeah. There's no response.
This is so sad.
It comes like if it was a text that you sent, it comes up like pending, and that usually just comes up when obviously like for example if you're in Drift and you started typing messages and stuff, it goes into the standard protocol everybody's aware of, which is as soon as we get a signal we'll send it for you, buddy.
Okay. I'll try and call her.
Oh my. Also for Siren, in a Tales of Triumph, the Discord, I'll put in the general store for you. I'll even tag you, because that's who I am. There is Ivan. He is essentially a gelatinous cube made of nanites.
When you say essentially, just is.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to find he's king of the ooze, as we have described.
The king of the ooze.
Yep. He was the thing the party were supposed to deliver in session 1, and then they did, because Alice signed off on it. Yeah. So anyway, you send that message, that happens, and then what was your response? Sorry, I totally deleted it from my brain.
Right,
Rather than being
I'm
sent.
going to try and call. I'll try and call.
Yeah, and the same thing as like recipient out of range.
So sad.
Yes.
Fucking.
Thanks, Callum.
Well, Excalibur.
Excalibur.
I'll give. I'll keep. Oh, brain speak, Alice.
So everybody, I guess, hears that in their heads. Yep. No response. Unless somebody else in the link obviously responds.
I don't know what I'm doing in that moment, but it's potentially possible. I might sort of query why he was looking for Alice, but I don't know how it will sync up timeline. So let's just
have it in anyway. Why not?
sure.
If you just never don't mention what you're doing right at this moment, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Captain, is everything all right over there?
I'm trying to find Alice, but she's not on the ship. I'm making this conclusion because out of signal.
Captain, my understanding is she's not in this plane if she can't hear us.
But we're in drift.
You're not in drift yet.
Oh, weren't we in drift on the way to?
No.
When all this started, I think we were on the way to thingy.
Nope.
Have we ever dropped out?
Nope. You were. So when you went from the sun to try and go to Akaton, because I think that was the last journey you tried to make, you were pulled out of drift by Mapfa.
Pulled out. I thought we went back in towards Triaxis. I thought we were on our way to Triaxis when all this
because you wanted
down.
to sort out everything about all the communications because you lose mind tones when you go into drift, remember?
That's true. Right,
so you'd be cut off from Lyco. Because remember, like, we were potentially going to be using Zig's teleporting to get people moved around a bit quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
but yeah.
Mostly to give Lyco backup if he was going to take on Edgar, primarily. Because I think Zig felt very strongly about backing him up. Mostly also, like...
Yeah.
Oh, Callum felt very strongly, I think, about backing up. Mostly because I don't think Zig knows about you trying to kill Edgar. I think that's why. Because I think that's another reason why Callum wants to be involved, is because it's probably an interesting piece of torture for his character to go through. So, makes sense.
I will reply.
That I'm definitely going to try and kill him.
Yeah.
Fine,
I will reply then. Do you have an inbuilt drift engine?
Well, I don't.
Does Alice?
He shrugs mentally.
I would shrug mentally as well. I don't actually know if Alice has got an inbuilt fucking drift engine.
He's more likely to than I am.
We can just say that Zig or any other crew member checked the shuttle bay and confirmed that the shuttle is there.
Okay.
So obviously that wasn't
not.
gone.
She didn't leave via shuttle.
Ivan probably wasn't the crew member, just so you know.
Well, she's not responding despite this conversation, so I'm assuming that she's moving through somewhere extraplanar, and it might not necessarily be the drift. We can't rule out that she is currently on a plane we're unfamiliar.
What? Don't know how to reply to that.
I mean, it's fine. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, basically, because like, I probably don't understand a word that you just said, to be honest with you, that we made the point. That's probably just honest thoughts. Yes.
And if you don't think she can be in drift, she's got to be in some sort of other place outside this dimension, so There are options, but I don't know who the best man to ask for that job would be. Weird. Any thoughts?
Could she just not be responding?
It's definitely an option.
What if we get really loud?
When I send her I don't want to say text, but I'm saying text, right?
That's fine. You can say text, yeah.
It just doesn't seem sci-fi enough. But yeah, text, sure. When I send her a text, it's
You can say,
coming up.
okay, here, Nico, you can start using when I hypercom her.
Yeah, but I do that either.
No.
Okay. I know. Right, text.
Quantum SMS.
Yeah, when I send her a communique, she doesn't. It's coming up pending. You know that thing that happens when you send somebody a message and they're in drift.
Or when they turn their device off?
Is that why I can never get hotties?
Anyway, Captain, if we search the whole ship, internal scans,
Not done
any
an
signs of
internal scan
matter?
purely because I don't know how to do an internal scan.
Ivan slides over to our console and then just turns on the spot.
I would suggest that it's perhaps.
Ivan doesn't do that. He can't hear you guys.
She is. I mean, if she's on board, she's clearly hiding. It's the thought.
As long as she hasn't been kidnapped by the Vesk.
I mean, she
Are
was
we expecting the Vesk to kidnap her?
No. I don't think we're expecting the Vesk to kidnap anybody. I mean, none of us, anyway. She wasn't too happy about the query situation.
I thought you decided not to go ahead with that.
She doesn't know that.
Huh.
Alice wouldn't act rashly.
Was that rational or irrational?
Rashly.
Oh, rashly? Okay, right. I'll tell that to the diner.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Memories.
Well, if she's hearing us, this isn't convincing her to speak up. Which, I mean, whether or not that says anything about how likely she is to be hearing us, I'm not sure. But Alice, if you're there, we'd appreciate hearing from you. Cap, I really don't think she's listening.
Seems like it. But where could she have gone? Ideas?
Remember, users aren't orbiting a place right now. Users in between two planets.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because I know it's pretty fucking weird that she's just vanished, right?
I mean,
I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but I don't think people just vanish into different planes.
Other extra-dimensional places do we know of? Could she be in one of those storage things?
The null space chambers?
Yeah, no space. Could she be in no space?
Could she weird?
Theoretically, but identifying which particular pocket dimension she's in would be difficult.
Could she have used anything that you're working on to dip into one?
I mean, yes, she could have opened up a null space board And just,
What was she a technomancer? Would we know she was a technomancer?
Yeah, you'd know she's a Technomancer, yeah.
Okay. Can
Technomancer
technomancers do
confirmed or
anything?
in-universe term. Probably.
In the sense that the captain would know enough about what Technomancers mechanically of this game can do to identify them within. Plus, we've used Mystic as a term.
I wouldn't really know what they could do, though. That's why I'm asking the question, I guess. Is like, can a technomancer do anything like that? I've never known a technomancer other than Alice.
I mean, if anyone can.
she's just gone to a null space chamber, then presumably she'll come back eventually.
I certainly would hope so. I'm assuming that she probably is intending to come back, but still concerned about her finishing act.
Where else would she go?
I mean, I would mentally shrug.
I like Siren's suggestions as well. Is she having a nap? What is the space version of Marco Polo? Play that and surely you'll find her.
Well, there are other extra dimensional spaces like the vaults.
Does she have a vault?
I don't think so, but it's just a suggestion that, that's a place that probably would stop her communicating with this meeting.
The possibilities of places that would stop her communicating on bars. Perhaps we should be looking at her intent.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like I said, she wasn't too happy about the conversation we were having with Query. Maybe she just left us. I
To
mean,
where? She
I
doesn't
don't
have
know.
much in the way of family.
Baskerville.
Um,
I mentioned Baskerville.
We could go and look there.
I'm not suggesting it's likely, but it's something that might feel like home. I don't know how much there is for her to actually find there, but if she is in this dimension, it's one of the only places she would recognize or have history with. Not recognize, she'd recognize a lot of places. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Perhaps she's wanting some answers herself.
Wouldn't blame her.
Now my thoughts is, would Zora just piss off the Baskerville instantly? He probably would. He probably would. He would probably just start like whacking buttons on the console, even though he doesn't know how to actually like set a course.
You could just ask Zig to do that for you, right? Like, Zig
no,
is a
but
pilot.
He's
You
not
can have.
thinking properly, right? He's not thinking properly, so he's just probably whacking buttons. This is usually Alice's proper. Like,
I'm sure
it's
Zig,
actually
if he
both.
noticed this, would come over and assist.
So, what is the actual plan?
Probably try and go to Baskerville. Right? I mean, it's probably not even where she is, but it's probably something stupid that Zora would do. I mean,
That you? What are you doing about obviously time frames and other agenda things and Lyco and Query and everything else and that? Like, what's the timeline? Like, so is it just plot course to Baskerville, start there, see what happens?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. Sorry's not thinking properly. So
It's
like,
okay, yeah.
like, if anybody's
I
like,
have no
like,
idea what
this-
you're doing to tell you not to do it.
this isn't time sensitive, Captain. I mean, he's not giving a shit. Like,
That's fine. Yeah.
somebody on his crew is in potentially in trouble, so he's like, "Fuck the world."
It's quite sweet.
Yeah, I like it. That's good. Oh, that's fine. So, in that case, then we can have Zig plot a course to Baskerville of all places. I like it. I'll just move us to.
What the
Go
hell?
on the main screen again. I'll close off that. It was a plate noise, that's what it was. So, along the course for Baskerville, what I need you to do, though, Zora, is I need you to roll the d6 for how many days?
Make it a low roll at least. Come on, gods, make it a low roll. At least give you some time back.
Enjoy your 6. Enjoy your 6.
No, my 6, man. 5 is just bad. Like,
2.5 days?
Mm.
It's alright. At least you still get that nice division.
Half a day better.
Ooh, excuse
Yeah, maybe Baskerville's closer to Triaxis or something, right? Maybe we get like a day rolling the next one. Then we're
Maybe.
equal. Then
Maybe.
I mean, that's such a tricky thing to say, right? Because everything there are orbits that are all different. So
yeah. But it's all to do with what the fuck the dice decides.
like, I like the fact that once I wrapped my head around that, it was all like, orbits that the D6 represent. It made so much more sense to me, but also interesting
That makes
system.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, you plot course there. I guess we have some time to kill, so to speak. So, yeah, I guess. Do you say anything to Lyko before you jump into Drift?
Off to Baskerville.
Are you sure?
I mean, she would do it for you, probably.
I just. Yeah. Okay. It was a guess. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, it's the only guess we've got, and it kind of makes sense to me.
I respect that.
I mean, where does a kid go when they're feeling sad, I guess? Somewhere
She is
recognisable.
young. That's. Okay. Good luck, guys. I hope you find her.
I would appreciate it. Hopefully we won't be too delayed. And I guess I'll push the button.
Yep.
I'll give Zig the finger. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, and then you jump into Drift, and I don't know. I guess there's some kind of weird, obvious mental indication that you've lost contact with them, Lyko. I guess, very loosely, since that they suddenly cut off. Yeah. Okay, so Lyko, you get 2.5 days of no supervision. What's the plan?
To continue in exactly as soon as anyway.
I'm sorry, like.
So
I mean, we're going to go fucking in a solo man mission against Edgar anyway, so.
fine. Yeah, I will continue about my business of trying to find him. Like I was quite happy to do that solo if need be. It was it's unfortunate that circumstances have turned out such that Zig maybe is kind of having his hand forced here. But that's what you get, Callum? So I'm sorry, I love you. Yeah, I'm gonna just continue. Would you like some more rolls from Lyko, or?
Yeah, so let's count that as day 1 then, right? With the first roll that you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get day 2.
Day 2 Space Cop. It's slightly better, right? It's slightly
Yeah.
better. It's 38.
And the reason why it's a little better is because you've already explored certain aspects of the place. So of course there'll be less to explore. You know, see? That's how it works, folks. That's how it works.
I'm narrowing it down bit by bit.
Yep. So you, yeah, I guess you get like you rule out most of the places that you've looked. Again, a lot of the similar thoughts of where would you go, why would you go there. You've probably ruled out the part where he's looking to be captured, since all the kind of high-end places obviously weren't like seemingly going to lead you anywhere. Because I imagine you
Yeah, and he
check
doesn't
places.
seem to have been captured yet, as far as I can tell. Could be wrong.
Well, it depends. Are you going to loop in with MO at any point at all? You're going to try and make contact with her during like your investigation, or
I'm going to be monitoring the usual sort of feeds for information, because I'm sure an attempted destruction would get out very quickly, and I think it's likely an arrest might as well. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to contact her just yet, but
that's okay. Yeah,
I'm not ruling it out. Not ruling it out in the near term.
Yeah, you look through, as I said, all the locations. Like again, because obviously the nature of the kind of the district that you're in, there's going to be like a fairly bunch of high-end places and low-end places. So you may as well check the ones that are nearby, clustered and whatnot. But no, like you don't seem to be finding them like publicly, if that makes sense. So even if he's laying low, he's laying very, very low. Like I think we can just safely say you've probably exhausted most of this area's like kind of places just to be there. I think maybe the only thing you've got left really is to try and maybe follow up on like the fact that it would have been a Vesk shuttle that brought him down, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, which would have been you, right? So I guess.
Well, it would have been me, not directly, because remember he got off on the merciless Blafty.
Yeah, I just kind of mean in the sense of you represent the party here, because it's not like CC's going to be representing the party.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. So you could go and kind of look for that type of footage, if that makes sense. But like checking all the docs and stuff to see if there was another, logged. Because clearly you were tracked by at least White Blossom after a couple of days of being there. So given that you've been here for about just almost a week, I think, isn't it? Because you had a couple of days here.
Yeah, it must be very close.
So yeah, like you've been here almost a week now. So supposedly so is he. So yeah, if you want to go and try and narrow that way, you could as
Just
well.
getting that down, by the way, that's probably the best wheel track time ever in this game.
Probably. It's only taken us.
Uncharacteristically okay of us.
Yeah. Hey, I mean,
I'm suspicious. Is this really us? Am I in this game right now? What's happening? So yeah,
we did it. We finally tracked time. Fuck
if
you,
I'm
time.
finding that I've sort of exhausted my other options, I'm not going to check back in with CC just yet. Because he's obviously indicated not to, and I trust his judgment here.
Where have you been staying? Have you been sleeping in the shuttle, or have you like booked somewhere else?
He is probably literally just like booked dirt cheap places each night. I should probably give you some money for that.
Yeah, like probably.
Because I hadn't actually thought about that, but no, I don't think he would go back to the shuttle. I don't think it'd be worth the effort. It would slow him down probably eventually.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to like super slum it. I guess you could say like 50 credits like a night for like a bed
that's
somewhere.
Like
a
couple of nights now. So
yeah.
I will
mark off some pennies.
That puts me on 34949. So I no longer can afford my special blades, but that's fine. We'll work this out somehow.
No worries. I'm sure we can make up the money somehow. But yeah, so you do this, then let's have a roll, because this will be us starting the third day, right? So the 0.5 we're in now. and we'll do like another roll for like you following up on like the docking stuff and like trying to track his movements from there.
Okay.
Hey!
Slightly better again.
Yeah.
What
So,
the fuck?
You
Ramp up.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. That's how it works, right? It's dramatic tension that builds, the crescendo. So we're getting you at like various, obviously, like docking platforms and stations and other outposts and whatnot. Maybe you're starting to go like even further off the beaten track, as far as you can go on like Zoe on Traxxas, and then you find the one where obviously he's like clearly just landed the like the Vesk shuttle. It's been footage that was being tracked by obviously like some kind of a docking authority. They were perhaps paid to be quiet,
Okay.
but the credits didn't clear, so they were a bit like, well, we'll tell anybody, I guess. Then they didn't actually
Yeah, maybe not
know.
broadcasting it, but yeah.
They just
maybe
didn't know who to
ask.
tell, right? So the fact that somebody's came asking, they were like, yeah, well, we'll tell you. But it probably does involve some kind of financial lubrication.
Okay.
Probably won't involve
Um,
much though, because they're clearly eager to sell this, so you could lowball them if you wanted.
Could I try and would it be a diplomacy?
100% is, because I was waiting to make you roll one myself. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to
just get
try
the
and
first
talk
diplomacy
them
roll.
The first
into,
diplomacy rule of the game, folk, no.
deciding that this is a good idea to give me it for a minimal price, because after all,
Let's talk about prices first then, right? What do you consider a minimum price? Like, what are you going to try and bump them down to?
Name drop me for a 10% discount.
So I'm not sure what they'd be looking at initially, but I'd probably be looking to get.
So they are quite an out the way
half.
place. So like they're clearly not like, they don't obviously get a lot of business, or the business they get is maybe not so legit. So yeah, you want to look at about a 50% discount essentially on.
Yeah, about 50. 50 would be
Okay.
good.
So let's assume that they're maybe asking for about 200 credits then as a
Okay.
underhand bribe, right? Which isn't that much
Yeah.
ultimately. But maybe it is enough for them to like shop him in at least. And maybe you're realizing that's probably the docking fees and a 50 credit bump maybe that.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you could do that, and then obviously if you want to talk them down to like 100 credits, then sure, let's have your diplomacy roll and we'll see how that goes.
You know what? I'll try and talk them down to cover their expenses.
Okay, so like
you know,
150 then.
Yeah, like maybe
okay, yeah.
like I was saying something like, yeah, I know it'll cost you, but it's not going to cost you that much.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, sure.
how about I cover the difference, sort of thing.
Mhm.
And I roll. It doesn't go well.
No, it doesn't go well. So I think it costs you the 200. Is what that means. That's fine. Still not terrible.
And Lyco, of course, will pay.
Yep. They obviously like overbearingly like stare at their balance account to make sure it clears this time. And then they point you in a direction that he seems to go off in. And it leads you obviously to your next location. If I can bring us over to.
Jeez.
Dun dun dun. Dun. He's went to Turosh. See it? I'll move the stream so people can.
Oh, the island up here.
Yeah. Do you remember why that's slightly significant?
I'm trying to.
It's okay. So obviously Zoe is where you were based.
Yeah.
And that island, not the one I can't actually quite point to, the one that's there. Yeah, my line's intersecting it. There we go.
Yeah.
That island there. So not Tarosh, but the one that's just off of it.
Stop it.
It's the one that Emma O owns.
Ah, right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
The office.
So that's maybe why Tarosh is a popular destination for him specifically.
It's like, yeah. So Lyco definitely gets the impression that this is a staging ground from which he's going to move to attack. But if it's been a few days and he doesn't seem to have done it, that's interesting.
Yeah.
He
didn't really indicate a timeline he was on though, did he? From my memory.
No, he really didn't.
And I guess a lot of it depends on MO's movements as well, I suppose.
Yeah, because she may not have gone back after speaking to me.
Yeah. But regardless of that, yeah, like her having, say, like a likely candidate for her office being exactly on that island doesn't necessarily mean the actual building for, obviously, Aspis Consortium is located there.
Yeah.
That is probably in whatever the capital of Triaxis is, which I don't actually remember which one it is. I want to say it's the Skyfire Mandate, but that might just be a lie. It just sounds dramatically capital. Any idea offhand, anyone? What the actual capital of this place is?
I can't.
Right? Yeah,
I'm inclined to think it is that.
If it's fucking Triaxis, probably gold, right? Dragons, fucking.
I'm gonna have a quick nosy at the. Okay, let me get my Starfinder Pact Worlds book out, and I'll see if I can get myself that answer.
To be fair, Skyfire Mandate does sound like it could be a territory rather than a city.
Let's see if I can
do vaguely feel like you mentioned it before in a question.
Yeah, I just feel like I mentioned it. Yeah, that's mostly why it's like rattling around my brain. Where are we here? Traxxas. Let's find out what is the Skyfire Mandate. Where are we here? Notable locations. I don't think it's Highlock. Laurelwood. I think it's that. Caldera Basin. It's not that one. So, Kumo, CUMO, a bustling Skyfire Mandate trade port on the River Delta, so that's at least that. We've then got Trax Claw, nope. The Rainforest, no. Not other place, the Duets, no. Encroach, nope. The Expanse, nope. See, Grenlock. To those who pay the right price, the island nation of Grenlock is shockingly balmy and pleasant, offering exotic recreation and luxury dining and fantastic entertainment facilities that present a sharp contrast to the rest of the wintry planet. Nope. Wow. You'd think they'd put their capital, like, first. Camorra is more of a military state than a political nation. Interesting. Where else are we? Physical barrier, Skyfire Mandate. Archipelagos, probably northeast. No. Although apparently Valetti's Sound, which is due to its proximity to Zo, its once pristine body of water was polluted with starship fuel runoff and discarded hunks of plastic and metal sometime during the gap. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just say it is Kumo. Kumo is the capital then. That can be exactly it, because we never got a clear enough answer, and that sounded nice. So that can be the capital until we're corrected by somebody that knows. Which is not us currently. Okay. Also, Siren, splitting the party. This party was born split. Okay?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Like, just...
Literally, we didn't have our rat for our first session, so...
Yep. And then not long after we got him, we lost Emlyn. So yep.
It's the most like solo group ever.
It has been individual campaigns for a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie. Oh dear, the solo campaign group. That's good though. It's been interesting. So yeah, we've got this place. I suppose I could maybe turn that grid off, and that would save me a lot of hassle. That would have been sensible. There we go. Goodbye grid. Can I point to things now? Oh my god, I can point to things now. Why didn't I think of that before? Silly rhyme. Perfect. Anyway, so yeah.
This fiend.
To summarise that, you've tracked his movements to Tarosh. Obviously we've got the island that she has purchased off the coast there. And obviously Kumo being like where the Triaxis office of the Aspis Consortium exists. So yeah. Thereth we have it.
So, what do I know about Tarosh? Is it a place with like one major population center? Is it very spread out? Is it somewhere I would immediately know? Oh, if he's on that island, he will be here. Will I just like turn up
no,
at the port city and
I was
that'll
gonna
be
say
that, or
there'll be like a kind of a destinational city that you'd have to get to. I don't know. I like the idea that you'd probably maybe have to travel by boat to get to it because that's kind of cool and like
Sure.
on brand for this place. So yeah, I like that idea. So yeah, you can go about arranging passage about that if
Yep.
need be. While you're doing that though, I think you'll be approached by another well-suited gentleman. Again,
not another dragon.
well-suited gentleman.
Sorry.
Now these look like the guys that collected you before. And once they can get you to a slightly secluded place off the street, maybe you're just heading back into Zoe to wherever you've been staying or whatever, and then they approach you and you say, Mr. Quint, Mr. White Blossom wants to know how long you plan on staying on Triaxis.
Ah, right. I see. Yes, I understand your employer was eager that I not prolong my visit. I'm sure he will understand the circumstances which are leading my visit being a little extended. But you can give him my assurances that I am making what I believe will be a short journey to Tarash, and expect that to be one of my last destinations onward.
If this is the case, we have been authorized to provide you transport to Tarash.
Tarash specifically?
And then the guy like takes like a deep breath as if he's now off script, right? And he says, I believe if it would be expediting your stay here, then Mr. White Blossom is happy to assist.
Can I do a sense motive on
Yep.
that?
Mhm.
Because I want to know if he was thrown because it really was specifically there that he's approved it for,
No, you get the impression that they've been told get you off the planet ASAP.
Yeah.
That's the
And
vibe you're
they're
getting.
just, like, sort of, basically whatever I'd said, they would have gone, oh yeah, we're approved to do it.
Yeah, like pretty much we can like as long as it wasn't like once I blow up this building then I'll leave. I think so long as it wasn't being akin to that, they'd probably been okay with it.
It's a most generous offer. I'd be glad to accept.
They kind of nod and say, "Shall you be? Will you be leaving straight away, or will you be collecting?" And then they name something abstract that's in your room, like maybe like you've got like takeout boxes or something in your room. But they'll name something that clearly indicates that they have searched like the place you've rented. Does that make sense? So like,
would Lyko actually leave anything important in this room? Probably not.
No, like I mean literally like takeout boxes. Like they name something that indicates they have searched the room. So, but they're deliberately saying that obviously, to let you know that that's been searched and they know you don't really have any reason to go there. So I thought you'd have left anything, to be honest. Yeah, I was on the same page.
Lyko is I don't think he's too concerned about that. I think he sort of takes that as written.
And they're not saying that to be. I was gonna say they're not like being. Your sense motive can run on for that. Like they're not trying to threaten you. You can tell they're just like, need to get this guy off like planet. And we've been told like if it's somebody that interests like Mr. White Blossom directly, you're clearly a threat, right? So these are obviously people that like maybe some of them have got that slightly defensive posturing, as if it's gonna kick off, they'll all stand at specific distances away from you and like surrounding you and whatnot. Like, yeah, it's definitely like a take no chances kind of scenario.
So I think Lyko is just gonna. I think I don't think he's very shaken by that.
Okay.
So I think he sort of just kind of waves it off You know, like no, it's not nothing important. Please, lead the way.
Yeah, visible relaxation. And then yeah, you're led to their transport. And then you get on that, and then yeah, like essentially like a kind of town car type thing. Obviously sci-fi equivalent like a town car. Pick you up, take you to clearly like a facility of some kind of holding area. They make you wait. They ask if you need like food or drink or whatever. They see to like your basic needs, and then they start like arranging an actual transport to get you there.
The Lyco probably has like a really simple bite to eat. You know, he's not going to go for anything extravagant, but he will take advantage of saving a few credits.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And like it's it's reasonable. Like it's not like crap that they're feeding you. It's reasonable. It's just definitely not 5-star dining though, that's for sure. So they set that out. They get you on like a a slightly more robust looking piece of transport. Clearly this thing's been designed for speed, shall we say. You're popped on there. It's a bit more like a kind of it's like a militant kind of troop helicopter or something equivalent to that, only probably dragons painted on the side of it and shit like that, and sci-fi noises instead of rotor blades. So
yeah,
you get those, and then you board that, they seal up, and then off you go. And you can probably tell they've done this because this is a much quicker way to get you to Tarosh than getting you on a boat. The boat might have taken
that makes sense.
a while. So yeah, once that's there, we cut back to the other team. So, other team being
Other team.
Yeah.
Other
team.
So
Team.
I guess did you want to do anything for 2.5 days in Drift?
Probably not much to do. Like, probably explain the query at some point. There's having a slight detour.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But we're not got any brain. We're not got any brain smashing.
Got to roll diplomacy.
Yes.
Please do.
Where's the thing? 2 diplomacy rolls in the one session. Oh
I
my
know.
jeez! Oh jeez!
Oh my, oh golly, oh gosh.
Diplomacy. Click.
Hey.
I can add like a D6 onto that as well.
Sure, why not?
Sure, cool. With my sidereal influence.
May as well get the mileage. There we go.
There
Yep,
we go.
perfect.
44.
This was
40
mostly to see how he took the news of like, am I just being shipped off to somewhere? So no, he does seem to have taken the news fairly well, and he doesn't seem to freak out or whatever. Yeah.
Good.
Like, maybe after like the first couple hours of drift pass, like he will come and find you though, Zora. So where does he find you after like maybe like I don't know, even 12 hours of drift passed?
Probably just sitting on the bridge.
Okay, yeah.
Feet up.
Staring at the screen.
So yeah, or staring at the blue, right? The nice blue of drift. Do we have a drift screen? I feel like we had a drift screen. But yeah, so where are we? No, apparently we don't. I found Daz's noodles as well, actually. There we go. Archiving 3 years of pages. Hey, that place. Whenever it decides to render. There we go. What a great image. Absolutely fantastic. Why did we ever leave Akaton? It had all the best art.
You could definitely have a setting, a campaign setting of Acton. Like
100%.
Yeah, just Hackathon easy.
Just at any of these locations, they are like rich enough to like host an entire
I
game in
think
it, yeah.
some of them might be harder. Like Abalon, I think would probably be harder to.
I suppose it depends on the game though, right? Like I mean, I could see a game on there,
Sure.
but yeah,
I definitely think Akaton's got a lot of potential though.
Oh, 100%. I think it's just because it is that like backwater like vibe that works so well in these types of games.
Seems like Starfinder on Naboo, right? Like
A Tatooine.
fucking
Yeah.
That's the one I meant to say. Yes,
know.
thank you. Like
There we go. There is
you knew that was, man. I
There we go.
appreciate it.
Colin, Colin, look away now. But yeah, this was our drift says where the captain's just staring at, I guess.
Jeez.
standing majestically on the bridge.
The intro to Doctor Who.
Although I think ours is oh no, dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun.
no.
So yeah, I guess does Query have access to the bridge? I forget. Like I think he doesn't. I don't think he does. I think he'd have to buzz. So I think he'd buzz.
I'll let him in. I'll buzz.
Yeah.
Buzz him in.
And like as like the doors slide open, he'd like just starts knocking on the frame as if casual like walks in and goes, Zora, Captain Admiral Zora, the Abyss.
Zora's fine.
Zora, good. Yeah. Runs his hand through his hair awkwardly, looks around, going, "Where are we off to?" Then.
We're off the diaspora.
Right.
Place where a station used to be.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything to help? He just kind of like looks at you for like the first time, maybe. Since stepping on the bridge.
Not really. No.
He kind of like nods, slightly like relieved looking, and goes, right, okay, yeah. No worries. Just
Something on your mind? Besides,
it gives you a funny look when you say that, and then
no, I don't mean. I don't. Right. I will have to just shake my hands like I don't mean that way. Like.
And then Ivan just leaves the bridge.
Ivan leaves the bridge.
Yep, Ivan leaves the bridge. Oh, it's like just clearly, if Ivan was looking out the window, he just backed out. But it's hard to say, since he is a cube. Yeah, that looks like somebody awkwardly just left the bridge. Like after like probably you and him just stare at Ivan leave and then look back at each other, and then he says, "Yeah, a couple of things on my mind actually, Zora. So diaspora kind of felt like I had all the attention for a bit there, and then yeah, like looks around, bit of a cold shoulder now that I'm complaining.
Well, I mean, we asked you if we could do the thing, and you said no. You don't want to be with us anymore. There's nothing else to be said.
Yeah, I get it.
There's more important things to deal with.
Hence my offer. Like gestures awkwardly again.
Well, the offer's appreciated, but at the moment we're all just waiting.
Nods slowly. And he says, "Okay. Think of anything? Just let me know." He just like turns and starts to walk out.
That wasn't awkward.
Like you turn round as if to refer to like I guess Alice or somebody, and like there's nobody else on the bridge. I guess some Zig went off and like searched everywhere in the ship for Alice. So since you would crawl through vents, that kind of guy. So yeah, there is just that moment of oh yeah, there's nobody else here.
But yes, I don't know if there'd be anything I would have even asked them to do. To be honest, I was actually genuinely thinking. I couldn't think like other than like just be sarcastic as fuck to him, and that's just not going to. That's not going to get us anywhere. So.
Would it be fun though?
Oh, it would have been fucking great.
Okay, so yeah. Anything else happen for the 2.5 days? What about yourself, Weird?
No, for me anyway. Want to go, sorry?
No, that's cool.
That's basically it.
I was gonna, in light of not having a clue what we're gonna find in Baskerville, and the impending end of everything. I might just write up my business plan to the Queen.
Okay.
Give her an update on the current situation.
Okay. Yeah.
Signed, sealed letter. So they can just be sent away as soon as we get our drift.
Yeah, and it'll ping one of the local satellites. So
Yeah.
okay, what's in the letter then? Like, what's the gist of it, or the page by page, whatever you prefer.
I'd give her an update on the current shareholders, contact details,
Okay.
the funds, where they're sitting, a review of all the prosthetics that I've strapped myself.
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, that might be it. To be honest.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Hopefully, our new ambulance driver has arrived safe and sound.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it for now.
Yeah. Anything else like finalistic? Because it sounds very finalistic, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Don't mean to put it down on it all.
No,
But,
capitalism's never put a downer on anything.
tell them I'll see if I can find anything suitable in Baskerville.
Okay.
But I guess otherwise, if she's in charge.
Tell my business partner I said hello.
Yeah. It's like, it's the weird equivalent of I guess like letters to your loved one before you head off to war, like, you know, write a letter in case you don't come back vibe.
Yeah.
But it's just the business as stands. Here is how things are. Good day.
Suggestions for expansion. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Good luck.
wanna give me a business role or something? I don't know. Do you want to pitch me something? Pitch me a dice roll.
I have a friend who is an engineer, and he says that they had to study aspects of engineering business at university.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, surely this is an engineering role. It's all about the business of bioengineering.
Sure, why not?
Yes.
Well played.
It was good.
That's good.
It's maybe the most we've heard Alex speak in a long time, so it's good enough.
Yeah, that's a 44.
Yeah?
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. So,
Weird, it's easy to play quiet.
yeah, you construct this letter very well. It's very well formatted. Yep. And it's,
In latex.
and it's ready in the system to be sent out as soon as you hit a beacon. So, perfect. Keep in mind as well, right? You could piggyback this in the drift beacons that you know exist. Remember the Vesk?
Yeah.
You put a whole like network in here.
I don't want to give them my business ideas.
Yeah, you got to worry about copyright. I have to imagine the Vesk are a lot like China when it comes to copyright law.
Yeah, fucking for sure.
Wow.
That's a good idea, man. I'm going to take it, mate.
It's called
Okay.
It's called aggressive acquisitions. I'll have you know, it's a perfectly legal thing in the Imperium of the Viscarium. Seems redundant, doesn't it? The Viscarium. There we go. So yeah.
Which implies that the plural would be Viscaria.
Yeah, and that's fine. There could never be more than one because they would just fight each other till there was one left, right?
Or Vescar.
But until they got done fighting.
True. Maybe that was the prequel campaign we'll do one day, never.
Okay.
Called the
Oh,
Viscaria
that's a
Wars.
great idea, right?
Hey, to be fair, if we're all playing Vesk characters with the established like lore we have done in this game for Vesk, hell yeah, I'm into that. Think of all the amazing NPC names we'll have to justify remembering. So, yeah. Anyway.
Man, every character would have like a sentence long fucking name, man. It would just be How are you, Event Rising? Not bad, the Abyss. What about you, Very Pork Annihilator? I'm very good, the Abyss.
I don't imagine that's how the session would go, though. Like, I feel like the dialogue would probably be a bit different.
Yeah, because it'd be us playing it, so it'd mostly be us reviewing movies about Bigfoot. That's what it would be.
Wow, are you trying to say that I could go off topic?
No, I'm saying we all go off topic. It's
Okay.
definitely not singling you out.
I just felt like the Bigfoot comment was kind of Colin specific, but
I mean, it was just last
Yeah,
session,
he does
this
have
game
to speak,
specific.
doesn't
Anyway, so yeah, you do that. Anything else you want to get up to? You get 2.5 days. I hope that didn't take you 2.5 days.
It's very detailed margin choices.
Yep.
You need to look professional.
Term nanometers was used for precision, so yeah.
nanometers.
Nanometers, yeah, sorry, my mistake.
It's the future and also a different universe, so pronunciation shift a little.
Of course, yeah.
Kilogram.
I'll just try and figure out in the next 2 days how the fucking if I can use wormholes out of combat.
That's
When-
my secret, Captain. I'm always in combat.
Yeah, like maybe that is
They're
it.
inner demons.
Like maybe she
I mean,
just
that's
like
what it is, man. And you're the enemy.
maybe she just keeps somebody like maybe she went down to the brig of her ship, went into the prison cell, you know, punched somebody.
Oh yeah, like maybe it's like aggro in a video
Yeah.
game. Like she makes sure she's always punched someone within the last 4 hours.
Mhm.
Oh, 6 settings makes you have to punch somebody every 6
yeah.
seconds.
It's why like the brig has the best views in the ship. It's a weird Vesk thing she has, but like the brig has the best views of the ship. Coincidentally, the most vulnerable location in the ship, it seems.
And that's what it is, man. Maybe you're just going to have a mindset that everybody's the enemy. Just
Yeah.
fucking, are you the enemy? Are you the enemy? You are the enemy.
Fair. To be fair, see
Well,
when
that's-
when you're a Vesk and then like the head of like the secret police of the Vesk, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's peak. But yeah,
It's
anyway.
just unlock the potential to wormhole everywhere by making everybody the enemy. It's not actually a special potential. She's just using Solarian mechanics. She just doesn't know it.
Yeah,
Like,
she's just gaming the system. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pro gamer move.
Fucking game in the system going, doesn't even know it, man. Like,
Right, so
fucking-
Zora, what did you do for the next day and a half? Or,
I don't know.
2 days
Fucking
essentially,
polish my
yeah.
gun or
Okay,
something.
wow.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah,
Wasn't-
for that is probably what the Vesk would call it.
2 seconds, baby.
Oh, Matty's gone. Lucky, too embarrassed.
Well,
Yeah. What about yourself, Weird? Anything else for your time?
I think, if I recall correctly, I unlocked the ability to make spy bots.
Nice, do that.
I remember you
Scout
said
bots.
those words to me. Yes.
Yeah, I have scout bots.
Yep.
So I'm going to make scout bots to spy on query,
Okay. Yeah.
just constantly, non-stop.
Do you have a
Oh,
button
yeah.
you can push that gives me what the text of your scout bots is, or is that not thing? Perfect. Thank you. So
10
let's
minutes.
see. Crafting these, it takes 10 minutes. That's fine. You've had plenty. To create a scout bot. Okay. So wow, we finally had an excuse to spend a resolve point for a while. That's
Holy
nice.
shit.
Yeah.
What is it? You can tell it's an anniversary, can't you? Where we go.
It's a mechanic that they made and then they kind of forgot about.
I was actually even going to do my fucking astrological sense at some point today, which is spending a resolve point. This is crazy. This game. 2 diplomacy rolls.
I know,
2
man.
fucking resolve points, man.
I
Wow.
looked at a skill list. That's what I did.
It's a new age.
Hi, it is. This is what 3 years in does. It gets you to be professionals. Yeah, anyway, so resolve point, scoutbot is a small technological construct. So, Alex, I know it's a pain, but can you mark off a resolve point, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
It only lasts 18 minutes.
It's okay. Got a bunch of resolve points.
I've got 16 resolve points, so 16 times 18, 180.
Do you want to lose all your resolve? Isn't there a bad thing that happens if you lose all your resolve points, or is that okay as long as you have all your health?
No one knows.
I was gonna say
I think it's-
nobody
I think it's
knows.
okay as long as you've got all- I think it's okay as long as you've got all your health, but I think if you're at 0 resolve points and then like you're 0-0, I think you die. I think that's how you actually die in the game. I can't remember.
Yeah, I
No
actually
one
just I was
knows.
gonna say I just prefer Alex's position
one
to be honest, which is just nobody knows. And like, yeah, I wasn't even willing to
I think
push
if-
that.
I think if you feel like your death saves, you lose like a resolve, and once you go to 0, you die. Essentially, I think that's how it goes. I can't remember, man. I might just be making all that fucking up, to be honest with you.
I don't know, you sounded
But-
confident
That's
until you
proving my
questioned
point.
yourself. So, yeah. Oh dear. Oh, it's so dumb. I clicked on the Roll20 link because I was reading through health and resolve in Roll20.
Mhm.
Clicked a button and it was like just resolve points as a link, and it took me to, you don't own Alien Archive 2. I was like, I know I don't on Roll20, but why would that have the resolve point rules in it? And I realised, haha, Paizo.
I think we should all have like resolve point regen as well. Anyway, like I can go make like a rousing speech to everybody, and like I'll get resolve points back essentially. Like,
Yeah, but we need to hear it.
oh yeah. I mean, I know that, like, but like I'm assuming he's got something similar, like that you'll be able to like do something to get resolve
Probably,
points
it'll
back.
probably be for your theme,
Like-
isn't it? It'll be your theme that does it.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Mhm. It's a level 18 theme thing, or the last theme part. that
What
gets
is
you.
like? What was your Still Tempered Pilgrim we're on, so I think that's still the one you're on. We changed that, did we? Did we change your theme?
Oh, sorry, yes. On Temple Program.
Yeah. What's the level 18 ability of that?
I get resolve back when I partake in a cultural activity or another culture.
That's cool. Not gonna lie, that's cool. Good, okay.
I'm going to sit and do tea ceremonies forever.
Right. So, yeah. Well, luckily we don't have to care about losing resolve, so that's fine by me. Because it's not something we really have to learn. Anything else you need to know about these little guys other than they have a land speed of 30 feet, and control
I could
movements?
put a mod on them.
It has
So
a
I can't remember.
camera and it streams visual and audio back. Scrapbook uses your saving throws if necessary. It's untrained in all skills and has a +0 bonus in all of them, though you can use your own perception skill when examining the feed stream. Wow, like that basically means that like by the time you can get this move, it can't achieve anything, which I suppose is the point because it's meant to just look at things. So they let you use
I mean,
your
I
perception.
could have got this move a lot earlier on.
Yeah, but I just mean like even like from like level 5 though, that's still a big discrepancy, right? That is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Again, like why have that even mentioned when it's unlikely? It just says you just can't. You can just look through it.
Yeah, you get it at 8th level.
Okay. Yeah. So by that point, you probably is already outclassed if it's got a +0. Greatest sky will last for a minute. Power mechanic level. It's fine.
That's it. Because I've got the 14th level thing that lets me put a mod on it.
Mhm.
I can put a skill unit on it,
Right. Okay.
which gives it a class skill, a number of ranks equal to my class level.
Yes, like +16 it will roll with then, essentially.
Plus,
Or +18, sorry, +18, that's what I meant to say.
I could give a +18 to stealth or something.
It's alright. What did you do
Or-
for this particular bot, if anything?
Oh, sorry, no, that's the skill. Sorry, that isn't the skill unit mod. That is the skill unit ability feature of the drone, but not the drone mod. Sorry, this is.
So what I'm hearing is it poisons people. That is what I'm hearing.
I could give it a weapon mount.
Yeah, with duct tape it's called, and a remote trigger.
Sorry, no, I can add a skill. And
Okay.
increase its intelligence by 2.
Okay, so how
No,
long?
I'm going to give it manipulate arms.
Okay. How long do you
means-
want it to like actually track query for?
For the full 18 minutes.
Is
With
it-
its little arms.
No, I meant like of the 2.5 days.
Oh. 18 minutes every 2 hours.
Okay, so basically just like as much as you can with what you've got, like spread over the day. It does mean that you'll land at Baskerville with no resolve, right?
How long do I need to rest to get resolve?
Nobody knows, Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Oh dear, Starfinder, how long does it take
3 years.
to get resolve back?
I could get a camera. Does it work
Wow.
on the camera?
Just in time for whatever
Uh,
session.
can regain
Okay.
any spent resolve points by getting a full 8 hours of rest. So I guess if you just miss the last 8 hours before you drop out and
Yeah,
drift
I
and
missed the
recharge.
last 8 hours.
There we go.
Yeah.
As long as we're perfect. 3 years, folks.
Until then, Wally is chasing.
Yeah.
Queer.
Also, to anybody out there that
I believe
worries
it's
about
pronounced Wally.
anybody out there that worries about GMing or whatever, or playing in a game and not being able to learn all the rules, don't ever worry about that. Ever.
No one's
Just-
ever learned all.
Yeah. And it's like learning them and remembering them are two very different problems, and they're probably somebody else's problem. And you can always just take a 5-minute break to look them up if you get really stuck, if it's super important. You'll generally find it's never actually that important. It'll just seem like it is. And the trick is, nobody knows, as Alex rightly said. Especially when it comes to things like Starfinder, where they have too many
Nobody
rules.
knows.
Yeah. Kitchen. So, yeah. I guess role perception, since you're perusing the data. Anything that you would flag up as suspicious at all?
Behavior that suggests she's a smoke monster.
Right.
Communications with people that aren't on the ship.
Flickering lights.
Yes. Suitcases full of cash, drugs, or guns.
Also, the flickering lights might just be a subject to the fact that this ship has been like trashed a couple of times inside by Edgar rewiring it.
Yeah.
Remember, the drift bomb scenario. This ship could probably do with like a maintenance cycle. Oh dear. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Like during your however many of those we burned through, which is probably like 18 of those. I won't make you do 18 rolls. I think that's fair. So yeah, like you don't see anything of that nature other than like you'll maybe find like Demadvin and stuff like that and have a chat. Like they'll maybe play cards for a bit. They'll maybe try and put cards in the manipulator arm of one of the scout bots. Right? Yeah. So, do you play cards at any point during the
No,
quizzes?
just take the card away.
Okay, perfect. Amazing. Roll a d52. Okay.
18.
You get the 18th card in the deck. There you go. Don't know what it is, so don't ask.
I'm trying to remember what order the suits typically come in.
I actually just have a deck of cards, so if I just click show, can you draw from that? Is that something you can do? Can you see that? It should be on the stream as well.
Draw.
Right.
Draw 18 cards. I've drawn 18 cards.
Perfect.
It has already sorted, like, shuffled them.
It's okay. What was the first card? Just what's the first one? There you go. Perfect. So that's what you've stole.
Yep.
Yep.
Mine.
Oh dear.
It
Again.
represents the 4 members of our team.
Yeah. Exactly. Perfect. What did you do for the 3-year anniversary? Well, one of our party members built a scout bot to spy on somebody that came from another universe that exploded, and then they stole the card they were playing with. Okay, perfect. Yep, it's on brand.
I aim to be consistent and representative.
Which is fine.
If Query isn't going to take being spied on seriously,
Yeah.
I've won.
Yeah, which is really quite insulting.
Yeah.
Oh dear. That's. I mean, yeah, fair. So that's how you, I guess, entertain yourself for
It's
2.5
quite
days.
disrespectful, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like imagine
Exactly.
not misbehaving. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything you want your crew to be doing, Captain, for 2.5 days?
I don't know. Is there anything needs to be done, like on the ship sort of idea?
Advising, you know.
Zig will have obviously taken most of the 2.5 days to search everywhere he can in that time. To look for Alice and probably come back and say she's not on board. But that'll happen at some point during the 2.5 days. I feel like he would spend most of his time doing that. He has a big ship. But he could do other stuff if needed. If needed, like piloting.
I don't know. I can't really think anything personally that like needs to be done on the ship.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, mostly crime.
Lots of crime.
Yeah. Bees, also good. Yep. Okay, that sounds like no. So I guess we drop out adrift then. That's what happens. Weird alarm goes off and it wakes him up after his 8 hours of rest, I guess, as well. Yep, very nice. I'll just assume everybody had a rest, probably, because that makes the most sense. And then, yeah, you just drop into the coordinates that he's had from long ago. Long ago. And we're back here, folks. Yep.
Where it all began.
Yep.
All began.
3 years later.
That's actually hilarious that we went back to Baskerville. Fucking
It's fitting, right?
It's good.
It's fitting.
It really is.
It's good, and that's where we go to break.
Oh no.
Oh no. Right, okay, beat it back.
muting us. Hopefully the audio works. If somebody can give me the thumbs up or thumbs down at some point when it works for you, that'd be great. So anyway, welcome back to Starfinder, the Fragments of Eternity, session 104. It's the 3-year anniversary. Hey, happy us.
Happy us.
Yeah, it's part 2 of this thing. Part 2 of attempt 2. And yeah, I'm Ryan the GM. 4th of October 2021, etc. Thank you very much, Colin. And yes, players.
Hello. My name is Nico. And I am playing. I'm just turning into like a robot.
I just thought you were going to go through.
My
name is. My name is
Nico. And I'm playing Zora.
Chicka
Best
chicka,
captain,
the
yo.
abyss.
Anyway, I'm Alex, and I'll be playing Weird, the android businessman.
Hello,
Colin.
What is it?
Colin.
How's you got, Paul?
Is it you sure it's not Big Colin?
Like Gwent. The security.
Thanks.
Brilliant.
Space Cop, coast to coast. You know the story.
Oh dear. I think we spoke about this before, right? But see, like when the game's done, I think we need to do like a wrap-up session, where we just talk about everything that happened in one big blurb, and then we just close the book on it forever. I think we did speak about this before. I'm just checkpointing this idea again. Mostly
I
as
honestly thought you were going to say a rap.
yeah, sure, we'll do a wrap. If we say it enough, Callum will do it, so that's something. Yeah.
Yes, bully him.
I believe the nicer term's peer pressure. So yeah.
Not really nicer.
Then bullying slightly. Yeah.
Yeah,
think
bullying
so.
is more fun.
I don't. Do I feel it? No.
Peer pressure. It's bullying for wimp.
We are a pro-bullying podcast.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that's
I
true.
went to
Just so
bully,
we're
but-
clear.
I mean, no, Nico, we know you are, given how you started the session. Oh, so yeah, 3 years, folks, of this. Never do it. Yep, that's how I feel. Anyway, so where are we doing things and stuff? The station.
Yes.
Oh, we're far away from the station. Let's go closer. There we go. Yeah. So, guess like you drop out of drift space, you head up towards the kind of coordinates, and obviously you get like proximity alarms sounding just for the sake of like debris floating around. Yeah, it's like that kind of as we described it before, like a big kind of like research kind of like central column with like a disc around it. Where all the kind of like modular labs were. Obviously, like half of that's been like ripped away and like broken off, and like clearly there's been like explosive decompression in a lot of the kind of the main body of the station, which was like where a lot of the docking stuff was, and the machinery of it, its innards. So yeah, that's the plan.
Dock up. Well, I mean, that's not really. I don't know. What do you do? But I don't know. It's most plans.
Scan for life signs
Yes.
and weird signs.
Would you like to take that role, Weird,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah.
It's
I
quite-
can't press buttons.
Not allowed.
Does the ship help with this? I feel like the ship helps with this, right?
Sure.
No, I legit think it does, right? Because it's got, I forgot what we're working with here. Let's have a look at it.
Oh, yeah, it does. I'm pretty sure.
So it's got a plus.
Help with computer checks.
It's a +2 to computers flat, and it's a +3 to any 2 checks per round. So that can be a +5 if you decide to clear it. So.
I don't know. I get it, man. Your 52 just doesn't seem like it cuts it, mate.
55,
man.
57, sorry.
Yeah.
Apparently, like, had you crew on this particular ship, The default crew get the science officer computers plus 18. It's alright, Teddy 20 as well, but not quite as punchy as.
It's cute.
It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Right, what have we got? Does it even tell us? So you get basic long-range sensors. There you go. That's what you get. I don't know what that translates to, but you get those. So yeah, you scan the station. No.
That,
No signs of
you
life.
got that.
Nope. You got nothing. So,
I mean,
Yep.
how much a wreck is it?
Like as I said, it looks like there's like, if you imagine again, the donut is like wrecked, right? The only reason why like you know it was a donut around it is because well you just ran around that quite a bit. Remember, but you kind of know why that is because like remember you decoupled bits of it, from way back when at the start of the game. You like literally decoupled section of it to try and like free up, the cocoon section before it hatched. So yeah, there's a lot of that that's quite gone. Like you probably could, you know, land in a bit of it, but you'd probably want to be in like, you know, full EVA, right? So just your suit's sealed, essentially.
That could be fun.
Well, you were kind of that when you like came the first time, right? You were like, okay, are we braving this or not? So yeah.
I guess I would ask, right? Straight away for us to get on board.
So to describe the scene, right? So we've got Weird walking up to the console that has obviously the sensors in it. You plonk a few buttons in, try and scan the station. You do your, you know, your scan up and down, and then obviously it comes back. There is a nothing, and then a little pop-up comes out that says, "I can see you're trying to scan for life signs. Did you mean?" And then it suggests a couple of things, and it's a
Fuck off, Clippy.
It's a wee Clippy. Hey, if we're doing throwbacks, right?
Yeah, get Clippy
Clippy
in
was
here
a
as well.
throwback to session 1. It was how we justified
If
Nick's.
we're doing throwbacks, I suggest you throw that back.
Hey! Amazing. Dear God. So yeah.
This is the quality content you come here for, people. We know.
Yeah. Oh man. Amazing. So yeah. Do you want to find somewhere to like land the ship, I guess? Like try and dock it somewhere? Or do you want to like you probably can't let me correct it. You cannot dock this ship in there, right? This ship is not designed to do
Yeah,
that.
shuttle. Basically, I have to take like a shuttle in there, obviously.
Yeah. You could find like an external port to side up to on this ship, and then just be like, you know, docked to the station that way externally. But you could take the shuttle in to the station, like use kind of like the 11th hour was smaller, so you could take that in and dock it. But this is obviously a bit bigger.
Okay.
I say a bit bigger. It's 7 tiers bigger. So yeah, it is big.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody in the shuttle in?
Yep.
Who's not going in the shuttle? I'm going to assume Zig stays on the ship in
He can fly it anyway
capacity.
himself.
Yeah,
Like,
he
can
can
fly
literally
basically
just
come
yeah,
next session if we're still here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
or just teleport over.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, you wanna do so? Excellent. I assume Weird you're going with them as part of the wonderful away team.
Probably shouldn't I?
Appreciative, because I mean, I guess in the way on the shuttle, I guess I would like mention this. I'd be like, is there any like, you know, like, there's not even any point in asking this, right?
Just ask
Because
anyway. Why not? Like, there's not a lot of point.
If MO needs the info, like I'm gonna assume it's not here, but like, is there like any such thing as like a black box or something on these stations? You know?
Yes, you took it with you.
Oh, we did. Have we still got that?
Yes,
Alice.
you've had it. Alice was it?
It's
Remember.
Alice.
Oh, right, of course, Alice was it. Right.
So can we find it?
I think that's why you're here, right?
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah. So what do I roll to find it?
Probably culture.
Pressure.
Okay.
You say pressure?
It said depression, but I'm not
I
sure if
thought-
that's actually a roll. It's just a passive status.
No. You in fact, with your
Right.
culture roll, remember that the black box was the experimental armor suit, that she then kind of became.
Okay.
Where do I find it?
No, you don't. You specifically don't know. Are you going to suit up in like your large suit? I guess is that what's happening? You're
Yes,
becoming a
always,
large
every
beastie boy.
time.
Big suits, big
Yeah.
men.
So yeah, you take the shuttle over. You dock. I guess there is definitely like no kind of atmosphere. One might say the temperature is very low.
Yeah.
mhm. It seems from the life science thing as well, you are alone, more or less. Um, mhm. And then use like.
Life signs indicate it's fun. Weirdly,
Here
I
we
was
go.
a bit confused by that myself.
Hmm.
Do we remember this place at all?
Yes. Yes, I do remember this place. Yes.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
A fucking throwback, mate. Stumbling about in the dark because we forgot we had
Because we
torches.
forgot what our
It's
abilities were.
so
Fourth point.
fucking good. Yeah. Yeah, welcome folk to one of our first ever maps. This is how bad I was at Roll20, folks. Yep. Did the job, you know? Did the job. Our imaginations did the
Yeah,
rest. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Theatre of the mind is powerful.
So there's a mech suit.
Yeah.
Mech suits are also powerful.
So like, you know, you land, the ramp hits the decking, and then out scuttles your large assistant. Fucking spider bot.
All of it.
Yep.
Ridiculous, all of it.
Your 8-limbed tank. He's basically like a Tachikoma. That's what he... Oh dear. So, what's the plan now?
Yes. Yes, we will obviously. I'll start fucking following weird because he's fucking flying about like a madman. But nah, I guess we'll like split up, start just walking about, looking a bit.
Yeah. Now, it'll take you a long ass time to search this place, especially since that you will be in EVA suits, and it will be like, you know, magnetic probably for the most part. A lot of the place might be like locked down. That's not really going to be an issue for weird, obviously. You can phase.
I can tear the open doors.
Can you still phase through things? Because I
Yep.
don't. Okay. Okay. I feel like at some point we would have covered you, making you sure your legs can phase through things.
Well, it's a coating that I apply to my armor
Yeah.
as part of that shipwright.
But then you changed, like, this was all done
Class.
before you got 4 legs, though. Remember?
Yeah, but we made my armor suit my 4 legs.
I'm sure we did. Like, regardless of like what actually happened, I can just
I think I
believe
had to
we
get a
did.
second suit.
Yeah. I feel that's true. I feel that all happened.
Yeah.
Because it'd be funnier though if you couldn't. You could only go half through things to look. So there were just 4 legs wiggling, a lot of the time. But that's fine.
I mean, otherwise, I've got an artillery cannon.
Yeah. I mean, that was
The
pretty much
doors
how
are
you got through
optional.
doors before, I think.
Yeah.
Way back when, with your big kind of laser cannon thing you had. 'Cause I'm sure there is like a scene of you shooting that at a door.
Yes,
Yeah.
doors are suggestions.
Yep. Right. Well, do we have an investigate skill in this, or is that something we just don't have? I think that's something we don't have, isn't it?
Pretty
Or
much.
investigate skill.
We don't got one of those, do we?
Oh nah, there's not. No.
No, why would they have something like that?
Yeah.
No, they've only got like a class that has like an archetype based around it. That's
Right.
the thing we would-
So I think that's why we pretty much had to just use the profession skill for you, from what I recall.
Yeah.
Primarily, it was like, yep. Because
His
obviously,
sense motive really sort of is meant to be it, but that doesn't make much sense.
I guess this thing it was sense motive and perception.
yeah, it's such a weird thing.
What
Like,
about if I bluff my way through?
no, I'm gonna suggest it's gonna be survival rules because you're kind of trying to track if somebody familiar has been through here.
Oh
But
my
she's,
god!
made-
I didn't realize Emma was in the game.
What?
Well, what you were saying, or at least how I interpreted
it took
was
me
it's a
that
lot
long
like tracking.
Yep. Took me a while. No, I did. I got it just before you explained. Just before. Oh man, it's because there is an Emma in this
That's
game,
true.
and because
It's a
Emma
fair point.
is likely to join our next group. That threw me a bit there, Colin. Well done.
Oh,
To be fair, 3 years and that's the delay I've built up. That's okay. I think. It's all right.
It could be
So
worse.
yeah. Oh, 100%. So yeah. Yeah. Hit me up with your survival check then, because that's good for weird.
oh, click.
Yeah.
Does my Sidereal influence fucking day survival these days?
Sure.
I need to go.
Sure.
Nah, not sure.
Sure.
It might though. It might actually. Survival.
And you see there, other GMs out there watching this for some reason. This is what happens after 3 years of a game. You offer them things and your good players just go up, and it probably doesn't work that way, so I'll be honest. You see, 3 years does this to people.
I mean, it might. I'm looking right now.
It's okay, it wouldn't matter anyway. It just means you're going to be here a long ass time. Like, yeah. Like, what's your peak you can roll here? Well, that was a 5 roll, so...
27. Oh, it's 27. Yeah, basically.
No, I mean, like, what is the peak you can roll here on a survival roll? Full stop.
Oh, that was a 5 roll there, right? So
more.
yeah, more. I can roll. I've got plus 16. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
36. I get 42 technically if I add in the Sidereal, if I can do that.
Okay, yeah, like 42 would be a reasonable time to do it, but these are just going to take a while with those rolls. That's all. That means we're talking quite a while. I'll obviously cut down the time if you're willing to use things like scout bots to obviously filter off say if you're walking down a certain way. Weird, because I assume you split up. That sounded
yes,
like
I can do survival with Sidereal influence.
That's cool. I figured you could. I genuinely believe you
Yeah.
could.
I think I cover most skills with Sidereal influence eventually, like all the good ones anyway. Like I kind of cover, including culture.
Yeah, the skill.
Apparently, the stellar forces can tell me about something's culture. Like,
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, you go separate ways. Weird, you obviously are imposed by very little, and you can obviously cover a lot of ground if you're willing to burn through. Like 1 or 2 or whatever amount of resolve as you go, every so often to try and again, instead of you checking every single avenue of the space station, you'll just let the scouts cover all the little bits that.
I'll put a few resolve to release the scout board.
Just periodically as they again, just to rely. I don't want to check every single bloody room. I'll let the bots do that. That's fine. And then and obviously again, because you can phase through things, it speeds up your side of collecting things. Captain.
Why doesn't everyone do this?
Well, to be fair, the captain probably picked the route he went last time, which means most of the doors were still tore open.
I was going to do that.
Since that was he put in this work 104 sessions ago, or give or take, 4 sessions. Yeah. Isn't it nice to benefit 100 sessions later to work your ground laid? Fucking hell. But yeah, so you just wander off through the station, and I guess we'll come back to that. We'll jump back over to Lililico. Is there any update when you drop out of Drift for Lyco? Mentally?
Yeah, we would probably just tell them we've arrived. The place looks dead, but we're exploring.
I think what happens then is that Lyko makes a face as if to say, well, yeah, that you will not be aware of because he makes a face. And then says, okay, Captain, keep me in the loop.
You feel the mental creak of the neck.
The amount that is conveyed in this game that just would never be conveyed is incredible. I'd go as far as say 60% of the stuff we have explained is imperceptible to each other in-game. That's fine. It's half the fun.
Doesn't matter. It's still how it works.
Yep.
It's canon. It's long established.
So you get that as you land, Lyco, in Tarosh, because sure, timelines, that was fine.
The choppy chops.
Yeah. You get taken to Tarosh, You land down. You're escorted through. Like it looks like a, the equivalent of like an airport or whatever, like a kind of like harbour airport. There kind of looks. It's got maybe Hong Kong vibes to it. Like that kind of like city skyline vibe. On the water. A lot of it seems to be like situated on the waterfront itself, the city. Especially like if you were up in the air, which you most certainly were to like land in to the area.
Yes.
Even like where they land is at the water. It's the one like see like where like the T would be, for example. I am in Tarosh on the map. Like it's like that side of the island where like the city seems to be like primarily like based.
Okay.
And yeah, like it looks relatively lively. Maybe is the thing to say. Relatively like a lot of money spent here, maybe as well. Yeah. And there's a lot of more draconic looking people in this area, like more casually than you would have saw in Zoo. Still I saw a bunch in Zoo, but very much like less armed guards and more leisurely vibed draconics here. Yeah, and then you're obviously escorted into like the landing facility that's there. The gentleman that obviously escorted you thus far say that they will remain here to escort you back to your shuttle when you're ready to leave. And do you have an idea of how long your business here will take?
Hard to say. I'm not sure quite what I'm gonna say. You know what? I think I've got an idea. Considering the current circumstances, I don't know that. So I'm trying to figure out a way to put this that doesn't sound like something too alarming to them. Because what I want to kind of say is like, well, if it's good news, we'll know soon. sort of something to that effect. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna go for something simple like if everything works out, yeah, I'm sure I'll be back very shortly.
Great. If you want, you can roll diplomacy or a bluff if you want it to, like, give a certain message so they don't read into it or whatever. Like, it's up to you. Like, I'm not fussed. If you want to try and like spin it a certain way, you can, but it would be a dice check.
I don't think I really need to spin it. They can take it how they want.
They take it a 9. So that's
Okay.
fine. They just can nod and say, like, you know where to find us, essentially. This, like, facility that they've landed in. And that's it. They're very, like, curt that way. And off you go, I guess, into
Yeah.
Tarosh.
I want to do a little thing. I would like to use what's it called again? My detective's insight.
Okay.
Regarding. So the wording of this is kind of weird. So at 11th level, your incredible insights help you move investigations forward when mundane inquiries fail. Once per day, you can spend 1 resolve point and take 10 minutes pondering a mystery or quandary to gain an enigmatic insight as if you had cast divination, though the result is often presented as a cryptic clue. Divination can provide you with a piece of advice in reply to a question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity that is to occur within 1 week. The way that I read that is like basically you cast divination, but reading it again, once per day you can take pondering a mystery or quandary to gain as it. I suspect the way Detective's Insight is meant to be read is it could be regarding things that have already happened, but divination doesn't necessarily say that.
Well,
itself.
so divination's wording is similar to augury but more powerful. I like it. Start straight away by directing you to a different
Yeah.
spell. A divination spell can provide you with a useful piece of advice in reply to a question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity that is to occur within 1 week. Casting the spell requires you to spend 1 resolve point. The advice granted by the spell can be as simple as a short phrase, or it might take the form of a cryptic rhyme or omen. If you don't act on the information, the conditions may change so that the information is no longer useful. The chance for a correct divination is 75%. If the dice roll fails, you know the spell failed, unless specific magic yielding false information is at work. As with augury, multiple castings of divination about the same topic by the same caster use the same die result as the first divination spell, yet and yield the same answer each time, blah blah blah. So I think it's just to try and maybe set it apart from the spell, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Enough to say it basically works this way, but it isn't that spell. But it
Yeah.
is.
As if it's as if you had cast divination. So like the first time I used it, I maybe got it a bit wrong then, because I very much took it as you're casting divination. But thinking about the wording, there is like that as if, so it sort of suggests like the
Well, I think-
mystery or quandary is more prominent, is more.
Well, the
like-
context here would be you would give me the triggering phrase, right? So it says here, in reply to a question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity, right? So you'd give me that piece of information, and then we would talk about it, because I wouldn't make you just waste it if I thought that would
Yeah.
work. You know me. You know me by now. So
And my question would probably be something to the effect of, what's Edgar planning?
let's
Because I
see.
think I know where he is. Probably here.
So, what Edgar is planning?
What is Edgar's plan for the assassination attempt? What's he
that-
going to do essentially?
that's
Because I
a-
think I have a rough idea, but maybe if I use my special detective vision, I'll be able to work it out better.
yeah. Because I mean, things you already know about Edgar. He has a bomb.
Yep.
He's
It's
here. It
specifically
seems.
targeted to MO.
Beyond that, anything else I'm missing?
He's probably in this area. The target at some point is probably going to come to this area or very close to it. We're not quite clear beyond standard corporate feuds on why he's so desperate to get rid of her.
Okay. So if it is, I guess, if you're gonna cast it using the phrase, what's he planning in regards to the assassination? Okay. Do you want that to be your question then?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to spend your resolve point, buddy? Look at us spending
I
resolve
do.
points like nobody's business this
I thought
session.
I'd get in the fun.
Mhm. Yes, Zora.
13.
Oh wait, actually, I'm actually forgot to do that. To be honest with you, I've still got to do a wee astrological sense to see if we're even
Wait,
just wasting our time.
actually,
You know,
here's
Like,
the thought. Sorry, can I hold horses in that?
Yeah.
Before I do that, why don't I spend it on what Edgar's motive is? Do that first, and if I get a useful result, that might help inform what I think his plan is.
What is his motive? I don't know if that would be covered by divination, because what his motive is isn't really factored into a specific goal, event, or activity that's going to occur within next week, right? Do you see how that's a bit like...
Right, but yeah, but the thing is, with divination, it's like it doesn't. The phrasing of divination is you can spend. Detective insight is 1 resolve point and take 10 minutes to ponder a mystery or quandary to gain enigmatic insight, as if you had cast divination. So what I'm reading that as, and what I didn't.
I agree. Like with your reading of it, yeah, like I do.
I think like you can any sort of mystery you can do as if you were casting divination, not necessarily just divination style typical an event that's about to happen. I think that's bad wording on their part, and it is really meant to be, because as written, this is why I was confused about it at first. As written, you can't use that for an event that's already happened. If you take it that it works just like divination, but if you focus on the fact that it says pondering a mystery or quandary, and then that it's as if you had cast, not by casting. So
yeah, but I think the point is it's saying as if you'd cast, because you aren't a spellcaster, but it's saying you get to still use the same conditions. So no, I would just say I would say it's a bit more flavor texty that way, but I think you could ask vaguer things. I guess I don't really have an issue with it being slightly vaguer, like the motive thing.
Yeah,
but is that really?
I think I'll just stick with my initial one.
I was gonna say, is motive really? Because remember, you get one of these a day. Because it's a once per day.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my initial question then.
Okay. It's up to you. You could also field the other players we've got as well if you wanted before you commit fully. I don't mind.
No, I think I'm quite. Unless, and obviously, I am always open to feedback, but I think I like that.
Yeah, I'm happy if you're happy. Just like to remind people you just don't need to make these decisions alone. Occasionally, that is always good. Okie dokie. Give me a second. So, your wording was how does he plan to assassinate her?
Yeah. What is his plan for carrying out the assassination?
Yeah, I think the advice that you get back from this, or just I guess the way this is probably done, is this is probably more like you're pondering all the factors. Rather than a mystical voice just tells you. I think it's more just enough things overlap to point you at a particular set of clues. Yeah, I guess a couple of things. And maybe you do this as you've been taking in Tarosh a little. Look around, and the only way to really get here is either like by these boats, like these very like hokey boats that exist. That all it's like the equivalent of like like a riverboat casino vibe. Like now the way like that was a very much like of its time type moment where you would go on one of those and people would just stay there and it would be like just essentially a floating hotel of sin, essentially.
Fortunate Son would play in the background.
Like the kind of a thematic equivalent here. You would book on one of those to like travel between Tarosh, which is like a vacation island as you're kind of picking up, and it's maybe where a lot of the elites come to like chill out. Their corporate retreats maybe here as well, and then you've got obviously this travel back and forth, which is probably why White Blossom gave you a quicker route here, so you weren't like spending more time on planet than you had to. Beyond that, like obviously flight to and from the island seems quite restricted. You've noticed. Like you definitely entered a more robust facility when you got here. Definitely didn't seem vacationy to you. So maybe you're guessing that travel to and from this island is quite strictly controlled.
Yeah.
But that does point you to the fact that you can rent pleasure boats at the other side of the island.
Okay.
So there.
And I'm on the opposite side of the island from her private island, so that side would be.
So where the H is in Tarosh, that side of the island is where obviously the boats would be. Obviously to distance itself enough from the fact that all the actual transport to and from the island's done by these hokey riverboat things. So yeah, that's what you get from that. Is that if he is planning to do something involving assassination, if she isn't here, you'd have to get to her island. And why come here if not for the proximity to her island? And then it would make sense that he's not likely to swim that distance. It's a fairly...
Yeah, so that makes sense.
So he's probably rented one of the kind of speedboats here. Or let's say hyper boats. There we go. That's fancier. The hyper boats.
Oh yeah, it's very fancy.
Yep. So probably probably your next step, if nothing else. As for carrying out the assassination, bomb still seems like a strong impulse to you, but delivering the bomb will be the tricky bit.
I mean, my working theory was that he will use the bomb that he made specifically to kill her.
Yeah. Still seems like that's likely. You've not found a missing window with a cutout in the shape of a giant sniper rifle or anything. With recently sold on it. So nothing like that, stands out. But it does seem like, speedboat rental, hyperboat, to correct myself.
Okay.
Rental
Well,
is likely the way to get to that island. The thing is, you'd need to go obviously out with the grid that they would have laid out for like the, recreational activities with these boats. So clearly he'd have to like breach the, what would you even call it? Perimeter, I think. Yeah, the perimeter of a Tarosh. Never mind the perimeter of a Har Island alone. But he's on a mission. We know this much. Yeah. Any other question you want to ask on that? Because I don't mind if you want to clarify
no,
anything
I
within that.
think sort of think that's all right. I think what Lyko will do is proceed to pass on to the other side of pass on.
Pass on to the other side was the
other
exact
side
phrase. Yeah.
of the island. Yeah, that's. I don't know
That
why
didn't
that
go off him last time.
yeah,
I failed
I
at
know.
that last time. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Actually, last few times that I think about it. So. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to hire a vehicle or something to get across there? You could probably get some kind of like, I don't know, jeep or something equivalent, right, to get across, because that is a lot of island. to cover.
Yeah. I think I probably will need to do that, and I will.
I'm gonna start at 500, and you can decide if you want to negotiate.
You know what, 500 at 500, I can maybe do.
Yeah, that's just to rent some kind of fairly robust 4x4 type vehicle. That would get you through the lush location that is Tarosh.
Don't think I want to use my vampiric voice for this. So I think I'm
Although,
just going to try diplomacy to convince them.
okay, yeah.
Niggle it down, just like, if it works, maybe just
Okay.
trim a nice 100 off of that.
Let's have a look. Let's have a very quick nosy, because I think that's... I can't remember the exact... So user 18, it's plus or minus a certain number. So let's say... Okay, let me just do some maths on the side. I actually think you might be one short. Let me have a look.
Oh well.
Like literally by one. Let's see, so plus that... No, you were two off. Oh, well. Yeah. They'll take 50 off for you though. So 450.
Okay.
Yeah.
50's not
But
too
it was
bad.
33 would have been like the minimum to get past that. So you were close. I'll give you a bit of discount. Yeah.
Good-oak.
Okay. Give me a piloting.
Piloting? Yes.
Yeah, you're good at this though. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah, pretty good. Yep, so you successfully navigate your way through there. Probably does take obviously a while. Probably is, significant while to get through that.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be too short of a trip. To be
Good
fair,
thing is
but,
they are probably
worked
looking
out,
at days to search all of that station though. So, there is that. So we'll stick with you for now. You get to the other side, and like you can tell, there are trails marked out. Like this isn't, an undriven path, as it were. As I said, this is like a recreational island, it seems. So these things are all very well used. You get to the other side of the island. It's some time later. I would rather be vaguer about that because I don't really know how exactly long it would take you to drive from one side to the other. I don't really care either. It's just some time later. You get there. Obviously, it seems to all be within a week for obvious reasons. Yeah, you get to the other side. I'm assuming you're heading straight for a boat rental place.
I pretty much am. Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you want to handle that particular step of the journey?
The first thing I want to do is I want to ask some questions.
Okay.
I'll, approach with an inquiry about a boat of my own, and I will ask if they've had any other, tourists lately, perhaps something like that.
Okay. Let's say this is a... What race do we not normally see? That makes sense. What could we have? What do we think?
Yosoki.
Isoki? Yeah, sure. Weirdly, I was
Yeah.
thinking Isoki as well. So yeah, there's an Isoki there working the desk. They look at you and they go, "Tourists here? No, never. You're the first. Haha."
Well, I'm thinking of a specific individual.
They wrap their nails on
Probably
the desk and look
suited
up at
up.
you.
Probably,
Corporate type, you say?
yeah, not
They look you up and down.
okay.
Mhm.
Not like a sort of stodgy kind of old grey type, but pretty corporate. Probably not clean shaven, but probably not like fully bearded.
Like
Short-ish hair on the
scratch,
grey side.
scratches one of his cheeks. He's like, "You you a bounty hunter or something?"
Do I answer or something? Which the temptation to do is strong.
Mm.
But know what I think he answers. More or less.
Like, this does look like an older Isoki, right? You can tell because he isn't telling you about the sun. So yeah, and he looks you up and down. His name tag says Myth.
Myth.
Myth, M-I-F.
Myth.
Myth. Right, he looks, and you say or something. And he chuckles, and he's like,
Well, I say so. Yes, yeah, something more or less. I think is what I said.
"Aha!" And he says, "Huh? What's the bounty? How much?" They give like a twitch of their nose.
Negotiable.
Okay, nod slowly. He goes, okay. Puts like a hand up, almost like full defensively. And he says, "Didn't always work on Traxxas, you know. Can I give you a wink? You're not honestly sure why?"
Could I make a sense motive roll on that?
Sure, yeah.
It's as bad as it can get. It's still
Yeah.
29.
Yeah, like the impression you're getting, I don't know, like, what do you think that means? I guess is Colin.
I think he's hinting that I've been around. I've seen some things.
Sure, I think that's a good enough thing to take from that, yeah. Plus, that is like a, what's the, 30, 23, I think, the minimum is 23 minimum? No, it can't be 23, it must be something higher than 23. 10, 5 less, 33, 28. 28's the minimum, so you did pass like a basic check, just so you know. Because 28's our lowest floor now for skill checks. So, God, that was horrible maths to do there. But yeah, 28's our lowest floor, so you did pass like a basic check on him. But yeah, he just nods a bit. He says, "So, what did you do?"
Well, he may not have done anything yet, but it's I'd like to see this individual before he does anything.
Looks a bit like Myth looks a bit confused at that, right? A little bit confused. Like he's like, "You're a bounty hunter, and he's not done anything yet. Like what? What does that even mean?" And he goes, and I'll actually make him roll to see if he can come to this conclusion or not. Yeah. So he says, "You're a cop."
You know what I'm gonna do? I think I have a good idea how to respond to that. Actually, so I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
You heard of many of my kind on force?
Okay, looks up and down. He goes, "Weird looking humans." Yeah. All sorts of folks in my day.
Did he say in my day?
All sorts of folks in my day.
Oh, okay. The implication that yeah.
Yep.
Are you?
He kind of looks back and he says, "A cop? No, never." And he kind of like spits on the floor. And then like you can see him like move his foot and just like wipe where he spat, as if remembering where he is.
Can I sense motive just in case he's lying there?
Yeah, but he is about to continue speaking anyway, so yeah.
Okay.
And then no, he doesn't seem to be lying at all, and he says, "No, it's spent quite a bit of time on Akaton, when I was younger."
I spent a little time there.
He kind of nods and he goes, "Old habits, you know." Looks back down at the floor where he spat. Looks back up in this like nice pristine, vacation spot, and then he says,
rough place for a Silky though.
"Always, more so recently. Hence why I'm here. Up and up, up and up. But no, I used to do the footwork you seem to be involved in. Chasing down price tags." He chuckles. Or chasing down the credits, I think he would say. Right? I think that sounds more like something somebody would say in the biz.
Well, it's not just about the credits.
He laughs. Just laughs and just shakes his head and goes, "Ah, so you must be still young then."
Older than I look.
He kind of looks up at you and goes, And then just didn't say anything. Do you have a picture of this person then, or what?
You know what? I just go in my comms and I just like search for Edgar Wesley.
Yeah.
Because there's bound to be like a profile on him, like from ZQ magazine or something.
Or just in general, like because he is obviously like
30 under 3,000,
Oh dear. Plus, again, like you also have like copious amounts of security footage, probably.
Yeah, I'd probably like pull up one of my own. You know what? No, it's funnier to search for him.
So you get his.
I'd just like.
No, it's like almost what would it be, like Vogue or like Forbes magazine or something like that. It's the equivalent. Yeah. So yeah, the image of Edgar pops up.
Turn the comm around to him. Not a phone. It's not a phone.
I can just be like a hollow image. You just show him, and like nods and goes, What I'll do is I'll do another re-roll for this guy having a wee perusal. Wow, he apparently only rolled 16s. So I kind of just like twitches his nose, looks closer at it, and goes, Huh. Yeah. He did pass through here, actually. Just looks at you and goes, "Just about the boat."
You rented one then?
You stole one.
Stole one?
Supposed to be back. He like goes and like checks like a file he brings up on his I'd say computer, but he taps the desk that he's at. A keyboard appears, obviously, and then he starts typing on the screen that appears. And brings up and he goes, "Yeah, a couple of days ago. It was only supposed to be out for the day. Never brought it back."
See.
Huh. As if like he clearly looks amused, just by the situation. You can probably realise the reason he wasn't so off put by you at first is because he kind of assumed you were probably here to like chase him down for that. Looks at you and he goes, "Anything else?"
Yeah. I'd like to rent a boat.
He just
One man
smiles.
this, please.
Just smiles like the biggest like grin ever, and then he says, "You do plan on returning it though, right?"
How about I pay up front for 2 days?
He kind of nods and goes, okay. That's going to be like." Goes, brings up the catalog and says, "Which one do you want?" Because I mean, if you want speed, and he starts like maybe going into his sales pitch a little,
And I will literally just put my hand up and say, "No pitch, please. I don't need it. Just give me something that's fast and can be easily crewed by one man. I'm happy to pay for it.
He kind of just nods
And
and
if you're
goes,
lucky, I might even get your other boat back."
he chuckles and he says, I assume you'll need, he like taps his fingers together. Cargo space! In the one that you have.
A little.
And he kind of laughs and goes, I got you, I got you, I got you. And he goes, 2 days you said?
He nods.
And he kind of says,
If it's any longer than that, I
Did-
probably haven't stolen it.
and then he kind of just nods knowingly to that, like without looking. He just nods as he's facing the screen. And then he turns and says, like his eyes narrow and looks at you and he says, I'm going to assume, like, leans in and looks as if, trying to keep it hidden from some kind of surveillance device that isn't visible. Some of you will be wanting the perimeter tracker disabled for those 2 days.
Huh.
Unless you'll be wanting one of you guys to be on your heels.
Now, here's a judgment call, because
Mm.
Lyko will instinctively say yes to that, but will he think, it could actually be quite advantageous to be findable?
So sleep well, Siren, if you're still here.
Considering, of course, it wouldn't take very long for Mr. Whiteblossom to find where I am anyway, so might as well make it that little bit easier in case in case I need him.
You can probably guarantee that like your movements onto Roche have been tracked, right? Like by the fact that they're still maintaining a presence here.
You know what? I'm actually that sort of thinking about it that way. Seems kind of redundant to have the tracker disabled. Yeah.
So the reason why it has a perimeter tracker is because there's only a certain area the boats are allowed to be used in away from that location. Because remember, travel to and from the island is restricted.
Yeah.
So like they have like a set area that they're allowed to play in, essentially.
Right. I got you. I misunderstood. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I just want to clarify.
That being said, I think yeah.
So you'd be flagged up as soon as you just drove it towards the island.
I assume he opted for that extra.
He laughs because this isn't an extra, buddy. Like that's the reason why we know the boat was, not coming back. We reached the perimeter and then kept going.
Okay. Yeah. Deactivated.
He kind of just nods. And then says, sure I can find one that's in need of some maintenance, perhaps. Yep. He looks and he says, this one, 2 days, plus my fee. He strains. And this will be 3,000 credits. He says almost quietly. You can tell the price per day is like 1,000 credits, by the way, per day of rental of this boat.
You're getting fucking hockled.
Remember, this is like an expensive resort anyway. Of course, they're going to charge a fortune for these things, but he's just added a K.
Like I don't think I even read to roll to know that he's screwing me in the price there. Yeah.
I don't know if I think you can read into the fact that he said plus my fee the way he did, because he's like, I'm disabling this tracker and I could lose my job over it. But he's clearly like somebody in
the same service,
No, he didn't. Like that's why they knew that was all just covered.
Oh, okay,
It's why they knew the boat wasn't coming back. It's why this guy thought Lyko was about and they're chasing him down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Because this guy used to be a bounty hunter, so he kind of respects the trade, right?
Okay.
He's like, "Oh, they owe you
3,000 is that's fine."
And he just nods. That would be 2,000 directly transferable, ideally, and the remaining balance to be sent to this account. And he slides you like 2 data ports. One clearly from the business.
I like who just smiles a little at that, and then happily pays the
Yeah, like
3,000.
swipes to each. Yeah.
Bring me.
He kind of just nods and like adjusts his little collar, and then he says, "I please allow my assistant there to help you with your bags." And he kind of looks like over the counter and just kind of chuckles to himself, or not. But he'll see you to your vessel. He kind of nods.
Thank you. One thing though,
Mhm.
he headed towards the island southeast, right?
He kind of like blinks a couple of times, and then looks to like this like young, fresh-faced, looking like Lashunton male. And he says, "I hope you enjoy the water." And just stares wide-eyed at you,
Okay.
and then like the young.
I am gonna fucking roll for that though, because I want to know, is that just shock that I guessed correctly?
You're getting the impression he just wants to not talk about breaches of
Okay,
protocol.
which suggests a yes.
Mostly because obviously this Lashunta has turned up to like escort you to the.
Okay.
So he's definitely
I will speak
indicating.
to-
He's indicating, please leave and don't talk about this anymore. But he's not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're renting the boat, where else is it going to go, Lyco? Let's just.
Yeah.
face it.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Ah,
Just in
yeah.
case he had some other thing that he was
Yeah.
doing in this.
No, he mostly was like, please don't let me lose my job now. As he ends up.
So
back
I'll
on
just
Yucatan.
give the guy a sort of polite nod and turn to this Lashunta and say,
And like the Lashunta.
please,
Any bags
lead on.
to carry? Anything you're taking with you? Or do you need anything brought to the boat? Like big, like polite public service smile across his face.
Just myself, thank you.
Excellent. This way, please. And he like walks off, like tiny bit of a bounce in his step. It's like you walk out of the facilities, like glass doors, like maybe like the kind of like nice tropical heat hits you. Bit of a sea breeze in there as well. Why not? And then like he just asks you like a whole bunch of very polite small talky questions, like, "Oh, is it business or pleasure you're traveling here for?"
Oh, how badly should I shoot this poor guy?
Just physically in the leg.
What? Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not Wesley. I think I'm gonna respond to this like the business, and you don't want to know about it.
He goes, "Oh, of course, yes. Discretion is one of our primary exports here on Tarosh." And he just like smiles, like not a beat dropped. Do you know what I mean? Like not an awkward moment had, just professionalism. And like I guess you'll just like rhyme off some of the statistics about the boat that you've hired, like vaguely boring details, but things that probably people about to operate a boat should know. And then he says the equivalent of bon voyage and whatever language is appropriate for here. I have no idea. Something draconic probably. Probably it's probably the equivalent of it probably just translates to don't dive unexpectedly.
Okay.
It's probably what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the draconic equivalent of like they'd obviously be flying.
Not fall out of the sky.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of that. Yeah, don't dive unexpectedly in draconic, though. So it sounds more aggressive. And then before you head off, he does ask, "Is there anything else that you require before you set off?"
I don't think there's anything else. But
Is
now
there?
he said it.
Yeah.
No. I will just thank him and say no, that's quite all right.
He stands there for a couple of seconds and then just smiles.
And I sort of smile and give him a quick nod as if to say, go on then.
Yeah. Like moves like his hands like behind his back or whatever, and then just stands there and goes, and just like almost like reiterates the smile. Just stares politely for a couple of seconds.
I just sort of give him a slightly quizzical look, and I was just go.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And then obviously the camera lingers on him, and he leaves disappointed, and he mumbles something about these cheap ass people not even tipping. And then off he walks.
I ain't fucking tipping him. He didn't need anything from him.
Yeah, and then you set off. So do you want to give me a pilot roll for sailing?
Yeah, I mean that's very literally piloting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean it's exactly the same mechanics, just on top of a different.
Hey.
It's the same roll.
Right. So we'll skip back to the other gang now. Right. Yeah. Well, oops, there goes gravity. And literally, because we're on Baskerville. Right, Baskervillians. We are some unknown time. Yep, you were. Yep. So, I guess you've spent 2 days. What we say? Yeah, 2 days maybe. Searching this place. Something like that. Some kind of rough, similar time frame to Lyco driving from one side of the island to the other. No expensive 4x4. So yeah, spent a similar amount of time, but it is likely to have been days. Luckily, your suits have ridiculous amounts of life support. Regardless of just having a ship nearby, you can shuttle back and forth.
It's like 18 days now at this point. I think
yeah.
it's literally just the level. Well, not 18, so it's the level of the suit, so probably 14 or something like that.
Yeah, it is the armor level times days. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's significantly enough. But you also have your ship nearby. You can just boost back and forth to, etc. Yeah, or just literally just floating out into space if you're certain classes.
It's usually good as well.
Yeah, so you're sorted. But yeah, you've obviously kept in comms with each other and whatnot. You've searched the facility. The place is just trashed. It probably looks like it's been cleared out. There's things that obviously in rooms that look like they haven't been hit as bad, but at the station falling apart. It does look like the place has been stripped of anything valuable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It was probably fucking MO that done it.
Yeah,
it would be pirates.
I was gonna say easily pirates or MO.
Aspis
or pirates or both or Aspis pirates. So, yeah.
Well, I didn't really expect to find out anyway, but I mean, it was an emotional call, so.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, right? Made perfect sense. Head to Baskerville, check it out. Yep. But yeah, you spend, as I said, so many days, however many that actually happens to be, not really that important unless it breached, some kind of whatever your ship's supply line is. Because I feel like your ship had months worth of life support. So yeah, whatever it's got would be your timeline, I suppose, here. But I think you're quite good for a bit. No, this place is it's essentially just a hunk of metal in space now. It's pretty unusable.
Okay.
It would be a buffet for Ivan, though.
I mean, I probably would have let him just feast away when he was gone. I was gone, right?
I assume Ivan's on the ship.
That's probably what we actually feed him, is some scrap or something, right? So probably would have just been That's how we feed him. Do we feed Ivan?
I don't know if you do feed Ivan yeah.
I mean,
Ivan just kind of.
I would probably throw him shit every now and then because that's probably how I mess about with him in my free time. Just throw him spoons and shit.
I was about to say this is why the quartermaster was why the fuck do we always have to buy spoons?
Yeah.
Oh dear, why are you throwing away your ammo for your weapon?
No, it's Sparks, mate. I've got to custom make it, man. Got to get the spoons and chisel them out, man.
Oh dear. So yeah, right. What's the plan? Right, for as much of it as you can kind of cover in the timeline, which is pretty much the station itself. There's very little without hacking every single bit of it to bits. You probably can't search every inch of it, but your scanners have done their work and obviously aren't picking up anything. So Yeah. What's the plan, gang?
I would probably like get a good sigh in that. I mean, I guess like call off the mission. I guess like just say, well, I mean, we're not finding anything here. She's obviously not here.
Here's a thought. You could do something dramatic to get her attention if she were.
What's that?
Bomb.
Blow up Baskerville.
Blow up
More.
the blown up remains of Baskerville.
Yeah.
Should we look for the Librian research
That's not bad.
carrier while we're here?
I think it's a safe. Well, I mean, yeah, we could do that, but I mean, that was probably in the ring, right?
That wasn't the ring, and
if-
that was the thing you was decoupled. That's gone. Like that's definitely gone. Yeah.
Did we see
And
anything
like
else?
as I said, you've searched like what remains of the ring. Like there's probably certain sections, not much of it again. As I said, maybe less than maybe about 25% of the ring left in various stages. But like you've searched it, there's no tech to search, if that makes sense. Like anything that, as I said, had a value is likely stripped. Other than just the scrap metal this thing is worth now, there's very little of worth here. Like there's no computer systems, nothing active that you can find. Like, you know, there might be like a cell phone in a locker locked away in the bottom of like a collapsed in room or something, if that makes sense. But beyond that, no, there's like nothing you could like sit and go, is there research material here? And it is likely, as we mentioned, this could have been the work of Aspis coming in and making it look like it's just been trashed more, but they stripped the sensitive material out. Or it's probably just been that and also pirates afterwards. Doing a once-over afterwards. So obviously MO wouldn't necessarily commit resources to pull the computer hardware out, she'd just wipe it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or she'd maybe actually get pirates to go in and just take it all. She'd maybe just pay people to go do that. You know? Yeah. So, don't know, like, was there anything else specific you wanted to ask me there, Alexander?
No.
I don't know why I specifically said Alexander either.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's Sunday name, man. Sunday name.
Yeah.
Get him into trouble, man. Get him into trouble.
Alexander.
Yes.
Cool flashbacks.
Yes. So, yes. Anything else then, Zora?
Nah,
Nicholas?
I guess we need to just call it off for now. We'll go back on mission, try to get Lyco picked up, I guess. Upsettingly so.
Yeah, and I think like
Wow.
maybe as you like you're
Not
heading
that. I mean,
maybe as like you're heading back, just take like one last look around Zora, and you get like a kind of like, I don't know, maybe like a wee shiver or something, like a wee kind of nostalgic like bump, because it says technically like it made sense to come here, right? Because you know where you thought she'd go. This was like where you found her. This was like where she was born, essentially. So yeah, maybe there's just that little moment, and then, yep, just reboard the final hour. I think as you're kind of back on board, the Madfin just like meets you guys in like the shuttle blade, and, you know, like maybe moving something from one of our like storage containers.
I always forget about that wee treacherous swine.
And she's like dealing with her plant samples, and she's like, "It doesn't look like the face of somebody that had a lot of luck."
Unfortunately not. I'm sure if she wants to show back up, she will. We'll just go get Lyco, don't I?
Madfin just kind of like nods and just says, "What was this place anyway?"
She knows about end of the world shit, doesn't she? I can't remember. She knows about end of the world bollocks.
Probably.
Librian and stuff.
Don't know. Is that
You
something?
could just tell her like what it is without giving her.
Yeah, I mean,
If you want to.
Zig, do the mind thing so I don't have to speak to people.
it's an old, it's an old Aspis research station. Just to research a lot of well, it's Aspis. I'm sure you can imagine what sort of stuff that they're researching.
She kind of just like nods vaguely and then looks up and goes, "Oh, I guess off the book stuff since we're in the middle of nowhere?
I would nod. yeah, something like that.
Just nods. Where to now?
Try Axis, I guess.
Home away from home. Chuckles to herself, puts the plants away, and just starts like leaving the shuttle bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yes, I guess I would ask Zig, that is not present, obviously, to boop the buttons in to the Triaxis place.
Yep. Do you want to roll again for me?
Mm-hmm.
The D6, we'll see how long it takes from here to there.
On D6, doink.
Hey!
1.5 Ds.
Yeah. Which is good, because it means you might end up there by the time Lyco's either died or got the boat back. Maybe.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
The two options.
Yep. There's only two. Yep.
Dead or boat.
Or in the nick of time to save him.
I mean, sure, right?
Yeah.
Sure. That sounds like us. Let's head back there. Dead or boat? Boat or alive?
You're coming with me.
Oh dear.
I'm coming up with session 2.
I like it, yeah. Oh dear. Nah, that's fine. I'm not going to sit and waste the rest of the time on that. So anyway, switching back over then, if you're jumping back into Drift for a day and a half. In fact, before we switch, you just get a day and a half of like narrative time. What do you just want to do with it?
Fucking throw spoons into Ivan.
Sure. Yeah. How many
For a
spoons
full
are you going to throw in?
1.5 days. Fucking everything in the kitchen. All the spoons we've got.
Do you have
Let's do an
enough spoons
experiment.
for that? No.
I don't have a clue, mate. You've not got a spoon. We've not got any spoons anymore. Like,
Doing the idea of spoons. at this point.
Roll a d20 for me.
okay.
Roll a d20.
Slap that one, D20.
Okay,
19.
You got 19 spoons.
Okay, good shit, man. Throwing some 19 spoons
That
at
was
you,
a
man.
good Irish Italian accent there. Ryan.
Thank you.
You know.
Yeah.
Roll a d20.
Roll a d20. Roll a d20.
I mangled the start of
Yeah,
that, and then I
that's
couldn't
okay.
remember your name for about 3 seconds, which I'm sorry for.
It's fine. We've only known each other for who knows how many, like 8 years?
8 years
Yeah.
almost. Little shy of 8 years.
I think it's over 8 years now, right? Because I think it was September we met. I think.
Was it
I
September?
think it was September. Of that.
It might have been.
Mhm.
I only remember working there for a couple of months, but it was probably longer than that.
Yeah. Well, I think obviously our training would have soaked up a lot of time.
Yeah,
With all
to
the
be
Pokemon
fair,
battles
yes,
that
it
we did in
probably
training,
is just
so, yeah.
over 8 years.
But anyway, so yeah.
Happy 8th.
Yeah, happy 8th. Wow, 8. But yeah, so we've got for 3 of those, it's been this game. Fucking. Whew. Anyway, yeah, you throw 19 spoons into Ivan. Were you hoping for something, or just?
Nah, man, I'm just fucking experimenting, man. Like,
I mean, yeah, I guess every single one of them comes back a Spork.
nice, man. Fantastic. 19 Spork ammo. It's getting added.
Nice.
Yeah. Those of you that are savvy, though, and also Zig, may or may not read into that, given that Spork seems to be the international symbol for Alice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe he's just missing her.
Maybe.
Or
Yeah.
maybe he just wants you to have ammo.
Maybe he knows something.
Maybe.
Ask.
Imaginator, that would be grim as fuck.
It would be fucking grim, man.
I
I don't know how I feel about that, man. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, horrible. So yeah, and then yeah, you do that. Weird. You doing anything for a day and a half other than watch the captain feed Ivan spoons?
Scoutbots.
Scoutbots. Yep. Just
Scoutbots.
Scoutbot query. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But this time, like, when he's not looking.
This time. This
Yeah,
time I
okay.
actually spy properly.
Okay,
I'm not the spy in this scene.
right, so
It's true.
no, to be fair, the scout bot's the spy in this scene. So do you want to roll a d20 since it's a +0? We'll see how its stealth goes.
2.
Okay, did you build alarms onto them, or like what? Yep.
They're very hard to steer, and just if they fall down the stairs sometimes, or
I love the idea that he like runs down like a catwalk staircase or something, and your little thing scuttles and then just like tumble very loudly down every single one of them, and then like hides its face with the card that it stole earlier. Amazing. These things scuttling around. It's now like Farscape with the DRDs running around everywhere in my brain. Don't know how many of you get that reference, but that's what I got in my brain.
I would have, but I can't remember most of that show. Like I've seen it all, but I can't
remember the
most.
little yellow robots that fix the ship? The little tiny things that just scuttle about. That's it. DRD.
Okay.
I'll see if I can get you a wee image of it. So, here we go. Here's somebody holding one, and the ship was just full of these little things that just like flitted about, and it did like all the kind of menial tasks like tidying and cleaning and stuff. And they taught one how to kind of like chirp the 1812 overture, so they called it 1812. But yeah, that's what DRDs are on a Farscape. So they're just always like in the background or random shots and stuff scuttling around the ship. So they were pretty cool. Yeah, no, they were adorable. And they definitely feel like they're giving off this vibe. The ship now just littered with these like half abandoned scout bots as they fall apart around the ship. You collect your bits and rebuild them as you go. Do you want to give me I guess a perception check then, and we'll see what you glean from your time. Excellent.
43.
Yep. I assume it's the same conditions that you were looking for. Yep. Nope. Still good. Still just him busying himself. He's been hanging out with the Madvin a lot since she's willing to at least tolerate his presence. He's kind of avoided everybody else.
Does he have any spin?
No.
Okay.
No, he does not. I don't think that was bought last time when Edgar asked for booze. I don't think he's bought Edgar's spin.
Man, I was
Yeah,
like
we were
fucking.
cheap.
Yeah, man, I was like 15k or something like that. It was something ridiculous. I can't remember.
It's 3k odds, yeah. But yeah, it was expensive. So yeah.
If it was 3k, I would have bought it for him. Maybe I don't know. Fuck it. Fuck
If,
him anyway.
if you had bought it,
Fuck
he
him.
drank it. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So Edgar drank that, sadly. So yeah, yeah, it was 3,996 credits. Is what it was. It's the cost of a bottle of spin. But beyond that, yeah, it's nothing particularly eventful. Like he does seem to be trying to pass the time, if that makes sense. Like he's just, trying to get involved. He obviously doesn't necessarily need to, doesn't know anything really about like xenodruidry, so he's kind of just in her way. I guess I would call it xenobotany, but really it's xenodruidry. So yeah, like, but she is willing to entertain him, if nothing else. But you can tell even maybe she's getting a bit like fed up of him being in the way almost a lot. Especially since she spent like a couple of days searching, she probably had him non-stop. And she's obviously kept herself busy working on her plants, as she does. And probably been studying the one she stole from the sun. Which is fair. Mm-hmm.
You can't steal a plant.
Exactly. Take that.
That was her fucking thoughts, I think.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else you want to do, or are we skipping back to Lyco?
Nah, I'll probably skip back to Lyco. I'm good.
Okay, yep.
I've had my fun with Ivan.
Okay. Lyco, you start approaching the island. Yep. Like your onboard kind of instruments come up that you're about to enter a restricted space, as it were. I guess waters it would be called, right? Restricted
Yeah.
waters. You've long since left, obviously, the perimeter. Long since. You realise this thing is only stacked with the equivalent of like an expensive minibar in snacks. There aren't exactly supplies on this ship other than expensive snacks. So yeah, there'll probably be a bill at the end of this if you've eaten anything to survive.
That's fine.
But yeah, you sail south. It's probably been, better part of maybe a day and a half. Who can say?
Okay.
But yeah, you've been sailing south again. The warnings maybe wakes you up if you're like chilling, because you could just have set the boat to go in that direction and it would have pretty much done the job for you unless you wanted to do most of it yourself.
I think you'd probably spend a lot of time at the wheel just to keep an eye out.
Remember, folks, as well, when we're like skipping days like this as well. Remember, your resolve's just gonna like restock. So, and your daily abilities and stuff as
Good
well,
point,
Lyko.
yeah.
Like, so your detective insight and stuff's all like.
Which is actually what I was going to say.
And remember, I
because
don't
would
mind
like
if you can have. I don't mind if you want to retroactively have used it before you left off, because obviously you would have had it back when you got to the other side of the
Okay.
island.
Well,
Um,
I would like to use it or have used it as you think is appropriate to determine where I think he might leave the boat. I know that is a bit of a stretch because I don't necessarily know the structure of the island that I'm approaching.
mhm.
But equally, it's a protect the future ability, so fuck it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's magic, so it doesn't really matter really. Even though it's not magic, it's brain power. Okay, pop it in chat just so it's been checkpointed. And then we'll see.
Yeah. I don't actually think I even have that on my thing. Give me a second, and I'll put it on.
Lies. All this time, folks, we've been lied to. He's not even a detective.
I
detective.
literally just read it from the book.
It's okay if you don't have it, just pop it in the actual typing. Just type in the words detective insight. That'll do.
There doesn't seem to be an easy spell to just pop into the book either. I'll try it again.
It's probably because I wouldn't have it on obviously.
Yeah, it's a feature rather than a spell. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that happens, and then yeah, you wanted to ask like where is he likely to have put his boat?
If he's gonna stow his boat, whereabouts would he do that? Because he's presumably ditching the boat at some point.
Yeah. I think you get back the equivalent of a shrug, right? I don't really know how I can be super cryptic about that, right? But
Oh, you know what occurs to me? We didn't roll last time. Or did you roll?
I've rolled twice. Yeah, I'd rolled in secret.
Ah,
Yeah. You didn't fail either time, so that's why I never
Okay.
told you.
okay.
So you haven't failed yet. I'll
Yeah,
tell you what I rolled though.
You don't
I
know
rolled.
if you succeed, but you know if you fail. So technically,
Yep.
you do know if you succeed.
Yeah, it's dumb. I rolled a 64 the first time, and then I rolled a 45 this time. And you need to roll like a 25 or under to fail, I'm sure. So, yeah.
Well, it could be any increment of 25 that you determine. It's like it's a 1 in 4 chance to fail.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No,
Whatever number.
I'm telling you, it's a 25 or less.
Yeah.
It's the number I chose to make the fail. But yeah.
Excuse me.
But regardless of what version, like if it was top or bottom heavy, it doesn't matter. You'd be good either way with those rolls. But yeah, the shrug is essentially my equivalent of going, you have no way of telling what he would have done with the boat, like ultimately, because he might ditch it as if he wants to like get it, like if he's heading back the way he came, he'll ditch at the top end of the island because that makes the most sense, right? If he knows specifically what part of the island her like office is on, he'd probably ditch it close to that, coincidentally. He might not be thinking about coming back at all, in which case he might just sink the boat if he doesn't want that tracked. That might be more problematic though if it does have any other, like if it blows up for example, that's probably going to attract attention. There's also the chance that like if it's a one-way trip, there's a lot of options he might take versus if it's like if he does intend to like walk out of this. So can you see how like you'd get a shrug back to that? Like there's no really a clear answer to like where to put it. But you would definitely get like maybe it's the top of the island, maybe he's got rid of the boat, he's hid it in some way so that surveillance satellites can't find it or whatever. Yeah, like it's hard to say. Mostly because you're working kind of on very little at the moment, just in general yourself. Mostly just got Lyko in a Hawaiian shirt with his big shades on, with the sea air in his hair.
Okay. Well, he would just keep his eye out while he's.
But I don't mind if that could have been the one before you left that you set sail or whatever. I don't mind you getting like a use of it as you approach the island. That doesn't bug me. You had the time to do that, so that is fine. So you've got something else as you approach the island, yeah? Because I'm assuming you're going to head to the top end of the island and start from there, since that's the closest point he'd have got to.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not going to use anything else. I don't use anything that applies.
Yeah. Well, is your plan just to kind of like, beach the boat, or are you going to like, anchor up way off coast and swim in, or like what's your plan with your boat?
Well, I actually I think I will sort of do a quick scan of the sort of northern coast because it would make sense as a point to ditch it, and
Sure.
then
Give me a perception if you want.
my own off. Yeah. 1 sec.
Yeah.
34.
Yeah. No sign of any like civilization here. Like no like harbors or like even little kind of wooden jetties or anything. Like there's nothing. It all looks like just like kind of similar to like the island in Castroval that you find yourselves on. That kind of like seems empty. At least the north coast does. Yeah, and no signs of a boat either.
I'm going to take this moment to send a message to MOO,
Okay.
which says, I am following his trail. I am on the island.
Specify.
New arrival is me.
Okay, right. Do you specify like which island, or just leave it as vague as that?
Juno.
Okay, sure, that's fine. Yeah. Anything else, or is that the message?
Well, I think that rather implies that I think he's on the island. So I think she'll get everything she needs from that.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm hoping that she's gonna, not send people after me. But I was gonna telling her in case there's any sort of passive security, so that she can perhaps code it.
Do not blow up, detective. Yeah.
To sort of see me as a non-threat.
Yeah, and that gets sent away. Like, doesn't look like there's any issues getting that message out. Yep.
Cool.
No immediate reply, obviously, though.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like, what's the plan? You're gonna like moor up somewhere? You're gonna dock in at the, like the equivalent of like a beach or something, or like a overhanging trees. Lots of like lush overgrowth.
Yeah, I'm gonna just beach it somewhere that it's relatively hidden from view, but I'm not going
Honestly,
massively out of my way.
like most of the north coast is quite overgrown, by the looks of it, so it's not going to be difficult to hide this. Like,
I'm not going hugely out of my way to hide it though. I'm just gonna find a good point, plug it down. Excuse me.
Like maybe stealth roll for that.
You want a stealth roll? I can do a stealth roll.
Why not?
Yeah. 44.
Hey, yeah, I feel reasonably good about how you've hid your boat.
For me.
Yeah.
And from there, I will head on foot into the island, sort of maybe staying somewhat close to the coast to help keep my bearings, and obviously because inland is likely to be a bit more inhospitable.
Yeah.
Like a bit more mountainous,
Yeah, like I'll share like a rough image I've just grabbed from like Google here. It's on its way. You're kind of looking something akin to this, is what you're looking.
Yeah, I'm getting a very Jurassic Park vibe.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. So yeah, and then you, as I said, you head on foot again. Kind of warm. as you head through. Now, did you get told anything about the description of our office in any way by the captain at any point?
I probably would have. I'd have probably had to be debriefed on at some point.
I would imagine so. I don't distinctly remember.
Now,
But
Nico, do you
might
remember
never
the description of the office?
It was just in like a massive plains, was it not? Like, if I remembered right.
You just tell me what you remember.
That's what I remember. I basically it was just like just a massive plains, was it not? Just like a lush, like I think.
So
Am I wrong about that?
what we had was
Let's remember that. I can't remember.
the doors of the elevator opened. You walked out. It was a very nice temperature when you walked out. There was a fairly big clearing, very, very, very big clearing. Like that's what I mean, like by the kind of plains kind of attitude. But like there was off in the distance, there was like the desk set up, and behind it there was a waterfall.
Okay.
Yeah. And like the periphery, it seems like there was lots of trees and overgrowth and stuff, but it definitely seemed like she had like a fairly large space dedicated to like her desk and a waterfall. And that door that seems to just be there.
Okay.
So I think her exact words were, "How did you get to this floor?" or something like that. I think was her reply when you just walked out of the elevator, or fell out, depending on how beat up you were from the fiends.
Apparently, we're really resourceful people, and we don't even realise that. We just fall into places.
No, it's called raw competence. How dare you undersell your skill that way? But yeah, do we have an athletic skill, Lyco? I think we do. Or a survival skill. We got one of those, right?
we have an athletics and we have survival.
You can pick whatever one you want.
Can I go athletics?
Sure, why not?
It's a 46.
Nice. Pretty damn good at athletics.
Yeah, these are some good rolls here.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I just have really high bonuses to
Yeah.
my skills.
That's again, it's the class, right?
Yeah, it is very much the bonuses.
I paused there mostly because I was taking a drink. But yeah, so yeah, you start heading through this place. You're realizing that this place should be like full of life, and it's not. Yeah, like this should have wildlife everywhere. The type of environment it is. Like there isn't the noise of like a proper kind of like jungle, like it should have.
So it
either.
feels almost fake.
Yeah, like if you snap a leaf off, or even like try and chew one, or like look at the place, like it is real. All of it is. But yeah, there's like no life here, which is weird. Other than like the plants. So yeah, you head like further through, and then you step into the what is a very big clearing with the sound of water.
Oh well.
Yep. I mean, probably took a day, but that's fine. As you navigate through the island, and then you get in there, and you see sitting at the desk working away, MO. And you just hear the voice saying, "Did you take the tourist route?" And our eyes just move to you. And then we hear the ding of the elevator door. And that's where we end the session.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
As you both look at the elevator door that appears. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Happy anniversary, folks.
Yeah. Okay. I see how it is.
Yep.
That was good. That's a nice little cliffhanger.
Whew. Oh dear. Not bad though, guys. Skill checks were pretty damn good. It was not bad going. I hope you all enjoyed 3 years of this shit. Yep. I'm gonna retire unsatisfied. So I hope you all enjoy whatever you decide the ending was. And goodbye.
At least it didn't cut to black mid-sentence like the Super.
Perfect. What were we going to say there, Alex?
So don't fly us.
No, I won't, don't worry. We're here till the end,
Yeah,
remember?
you can't take the sky from me.
No,
No.
no.
That's good, good series.
Oh, dear.
Pretty good film.
Okay, so what we're going to call this?
I think something boat related or journey related could be good.
Back to basics.
Well, I typed back to, and it was Baskerville, is what I was going to write.
I like Back to Baskerville.
Because I think we've actually used it yet, but we did speak about going back to Baskerville a couple of sessions ago. So that is my suggestion. Obviously, many other things are very relatable because we did have a couple of callbacks, which was nice. Yeah. Any other suggestions? I know obviously we've got
No,
Colin's.
I like mine, but also
I like yours too. Yeah. Suggestions and/or votes, Weird and/or Zora, or just both.
Clickety click.
Clackety clack, don't call back.
Rebound
Rebound of the Baskerville.
of the Baskerville. We'll go with that.
Well, in a neck and neck finish almost, I think Back to Baskerville won just by one vote. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
Nico's back in mine.
No. It's okay. We got there. We named it fairly quickly. We're doing well. Look, we're warming up to these namings. So there we go.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. And 3 years of this. Goals.
No. Just no.
Okay.
So close. Shut that over the edge.
Yeah. So, are we changing any goals?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Not me. I think we're still good on. I don't know about the general goals. I think we're still good.
Okay. Weird. I will actually just. Weird. I feel like you've done enough to complete your goal, right? I feel like you mentioned in a downtime moment something with the word business.
You fucking did it, man.
He sent the letter.
Yeah. So if you want to pop that over to the completed list, yep, we can just forget that goal forever now. But it was close enough. That can go in. Yep. That can go away. Excellent. I like your new one as well. Do you want to tell the world what it is?
No.
Okay, do you want to tell just some people watching this randomly?
Okay. I said I'm going to find Alice.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, that was the wrong thing to do. Do that. Or bam. Guess what, folks?
Oh.
Guess what?
Level 20.
These are level 20.
I did a mission.
Yeah, you're level 20. That's how much time he'd banked doing that goal.
The goal was worth 2 levels the whole time.
That was my strategy the entire time.
It's mostly because it's the 3-year anniversary and I didn't actually see a better gift other than let's get to the cap, shall we? Because that's kind of excellent.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yep.
Might as well.
Truly, to solidify my statement earlier of I hope you enjoyed doing the ending, let me know what happened, and yeah, good luck.
It's nice to get to cap before the end as well, not in the last section as well, right? So we can actually fuck about with it a wee bit.
As I said, I'm always been a fan of that as well. You should be getting to cap and having the finale era at the cap. I agree. So you get a bit of fun with it, because everything should be in place by the time you hit cap realistically. And you just have a really good plan, realistically, right? You do have a plan that makes sense in the setting that we're in. So yeah, I like it. We'll see how it plays out, of course. Yeah. Hopefully, we should have Zig next time, which means depending on who walks off the elevator, remember, Colin, you have mental comms to a crew that may or may not have just have arrived in orbit that can teleport to your exact location in 6 seconds.
Yep, that is handy.
Yep, so just so you're aware, that is something you've access to. Yep, and whatever level 20 brings as well, of course. Beyond that, if no other goals are changing, yeah, let's do wrap up then. Look how quick this is going. Yeah. Like, do you want to go first? I always usually do you last, so do you want to go first?
Yeah, I don't mind going first since I went last in the intros. Makes sense. From first to last, or rather from last to first. Wait, that's also in the Bible. And it's also in Bob Dylan, for the first one's now shall look to be last. So, yes.
You know, also in Bob Dylan.
That was nice. I loved that little cliffhanger at the end.
I'm glad.
It was frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. But a good cliffhanger should be frustrating. Because you want to leave the audience and the players in this case wanting more. And I definitely wanted more. So
it's good.
We had a bit of progress, we had a sense of journeys in this one. And also very much of returning, because I hadn't been there before, but I was going to somewhere that other members of the party had previously been. They were returning to somewhere we'd all been, looking for someone who they suspected had perhaps gone there, who we first met there. So there was a sense of going back to the beginning, which is appropriate because we're coming to the end.
Yeah, it's good.
And as get your bingo cards ready, as the first says in the first episode of season 7, it's time to go back to the beginning. Not the bang, not the word, the real beginning. So yeah, no, I think the end naturally tends to bring you circling back to when it all began, and it seems quite organic. Also, they went to Baskerville. They didn't find anything. They just went there because it made sense in the moment, in the heat of the moment, for the captain to go, right, Baskerville, that's an idea. I need something to latch on to. I'm going with that. Because for the first time, I think actually, I think Zora actually seemed really desperate here.
Yeah,
which is interesting. Because like I definitely get the impression you're kind of lost without Alice now, which is kind of sweet.
It's more just along the lines of like we're all kind of a bit responsible for her, right? Like
oh, totally.
Like she's like essentially a baba, as much as she's not a baba, she's a baba. Right?
Yep, a very dangerously armed baba.
Yes.
Yeah, she sort of is. Like, cause she is very new to this world, even if she's not a child, because she's an AI. But she's
I don't think she can look after herself, but like, yeah, you get what I mean, right? She probably.
And she's part of the crew. There's that, right? She's the first of the officers. You know, for her to go like missing this way is a bit sad. It is very like like cyclic as well with the she started the game with you guys, right? Just one of the first NPCs, I think. If not Clippy, she was the first NPC you spoke to. So yeah. She is a big deal that way, I suppose.
Yeah, and so yeah, there's definitely a sort of a sense of going back to the beginning, and overall, a bit of nostalgia, and a sort of interesting little bit of a parallel, because this, of course, the last time anyone was in that office, they sort of come up that elevator, right? And that elevator was also where, it was the means through which the captain went to see Edgar, when it turned out that Edgar had been abducted by goblins. Now we potentially have, because that's like imagine this is a TV series, like I imagine that this would be that this shot would be framed similarly, to the one of you guys like emerging or trying to emerge before you got shot at by goblins. I imagine that'd be the visual callback, and that everyone would go, "Oh, it's the elevator again."
It'd have a very distinct style of elevator door, wouldn't it? It would be unique to obviously Aspis.
So yeah, I like that. I think we all had a bit of something to do as well, and a bit of something to.
It's maybe one of
think
our
about
most
in terms
productive uses of time as well.
Yeah.
In a game. Yep. There were definitely vibes of like, you know, you get like things like, was it Burn Notice and various other visions like I had. Like I definitely saw like Lyco on his own kind of a, you know.
I'm thinking like in
detective
terms
journey.
of like where we've that the Alice thing is sort of maybe front and center in their minds, and right now I'm sort of my mind is primarily on Edgar. It's just interesting. Like we've all got that. We've all got a thing. We've all got a thing that is eluding us. A person, an AI, a spooky cloud. So yeah, we were all searching for something, and we were all going back to places from our past or from the past of the party to find it. And I just thought that was rather cute. And yeah, I had a good time.
Well, good. I'm glad.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for playing.
Thank you for running.
You're welcome. Weird.
That's pretty good. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Could go another few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was grand. I don't know if anyone else has ever seen the Digimon movie, but every time you say go back to the beginning, I just keep thinking that we're gonna, be transformed back into the children version of ourselves, be attacked by a giant.
I mean, in a way, us re-entering Baskerville and going back to the old map and stuff is like going to a younger version of ourselves. A 3-year younger version of ourselves.
But it didn't end with the Wendigo singing Smash Mouth, so...
Not yet. When we get the sweet Twitch money in, we can afford the rights for that song, sure.
You don't need the rights for Smash Mouth, do you? Like
specifically just Smash Mouth, yeah.
Well, yeah, I just assume there's a certain degree of artistic competence required for something to be considered intellectual property.
Wow. Yeah, I have so little to say to that comment.
Sorry.
I don't. No apology required. That was a comment.
Yeah. No, that was great. Yeah, it was nice that everything was reflecting something from the start of our journey, and I look forward to the inevitable slaughter of the next session.
It's when Lyco just has to dodge falling diners, probably, right? Just to be really chaotic. Yeah, good. Oh dear. Zara?
Hello.
Hello.
Yep, that was good. It was good fun.
You're good.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what happens with the Royal Rumble between Lyco, MO, and Eduardo. Eduardo. I was about to say Edward, but I was like, his name from Edward. It's Edgar.
It's Edgardo.
It's
Edgardo. Edgardo. Yes. Edgardo. Yeah, it's Edgar Westland. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was cool to go back to Baskerville and see some earlier and like
it was
the
nice.
first ever map, really.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. I had to go fix that, fish that out of my archived maps. I was like, oh my god, there's a lot of pages here. This is 3 years of a game. But no, it's been good. It's good. Because obviously I try and keep all the stuff I use map-wise, because, in case of things like this, we can go back to them. If they are garbage early maps.
A wee bit issue whenever found Alice there, but I never really expected to. Like I said, I done it just because I was like,
it made sense though. And I was happy to have the callback as well. It was nice to go back there. And if you don't know where to go, back to the beginning, start again. It makes sense, The trippy thing would be if you got there and you already saw the 11th hour was docked. That would be the trippy thing.
Yeah, that'd be trippy. That'd be very trippy. We were in the past all along.
That's where we were. Oh dear. It was good. Yeah. Again,
Mhm.
man, 3 years, buddy. 3 years
Yes.
as captain, as it were. Some as admiral, but mostly captain.
A captainish. Captainish.
Not bad, not bad. Anything else, bud?
No, that's good. Good
Excellent.
fun. Thanks for running.
You're all welcome. Thank you all for playing. Thank you to everybody who watched. I'm excited for next time. 3 years of this has been glorious. I've loved running it. Insofar as I've loved the story that we've told, and I don't really care about the rules. And yeah, we are actually going to finish on time, folks. So say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.